Good morning. Happy Saturday. Hey, Scooter, Mystery, Queen Bella. I'm a seahorse. Oh, Lord, sorry about that. Jack of all trades. How's everybody doing today, Teresa? Let me make sure I put this on. Mrs. M. Good morning, Tiffany. Oh, yes, football season, huh? Officially fall time. Hey, Willow Johnson. Liability at this point, so there is that. I do think they like a boys' club. I'm wondering myself, right? Nick is already coming in making statements about, you know, basically the Proudfoots haven't seen what, I can do type of attitude. And I'm wondering if that is to replace Betty. Because obviously, Nick or Betty's not able to do much right now, right? She's not even supposed to be mentioning names. Hey, Naysayer, Darlin Tammy, Bayou, Natalie, Vanessa, Froggy, Debbie, Brian. Good morning, Billy. Sunshine. Sorry, had to mute for a second. Hey, Pristine. Proud fur mom. Good morning. Janine. Betty gone now. Hey, Flower Nana. That cone. Mystery. Good morning, Colleen. Mama Llama. Canvas and Crime. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you. You guys, I can't believe we're already in fall. We have made it through an entire summer and we are now in the fall. Good morning, Charles. Diana, Casual Art, Stephanie, Carrie Hall, Remy, Mrs. M, Poetic Justice. Driving and listening. Drive carefully, Charles. Good morning, Crystal Burns, Mystic Butterfly. Did I miss Miss L? Good morning, Miss L, my friend, Kathy R. Anyway, it's so cold here. I know. I don't want to say Granny, not a granny. I know. I need a new name. It's a silly one. Good morning, Jane. How you doing today? 505 thanks. It was 100 in the desert. Still summer there. It's cold for us. All right, I'm being dramatic. It's not freaking cold. For somebody like me who loves the summertime, I'll say it's cold, but it's not really cold. Good morning, Jason. Good morning, Claus. I think you win the longest name on YouTube. And I just got off, have 2 more to go. I'm ready for fall, my favorite time of year. Hey, Midwest. I like the fall. I hate the winter. I almost melt. Couldn't believe how many people stared at you. Good morning, Janet. So I was debating even, going live on this topic. You get to a point. Oh, I didn't listen to it, Scooter. I respectfully have a different opinion. I don't think she would have a problem with that, and I don't know. She may feel differently than I, and that is okay. I have major concerns with this. Liz Ford, welcome. Welcome. You are officially an MFer. Hey, Lady V. 58 here is like time of year and a hoodie. Yeah, you know what I love? The hoodies with the matching shorts. They're like my favorite outfits. They're like my favorite. And then my friend, was it? Never mind. I don't want to say who it was because I'm not sure. They bought me one that's like the off my wish list. That was a sweatshirt with the shorts, and I love it. No one feels stupid for feeling concerned. Oh, well, I'll have to listen. Hey, Agent 99. I think it's been a while, hasn't it? Hey, Toe Beans. But if she pops in chat, I love Grady, but if she pops in chat, I'm out. Sorry, I had to say it. I just read that. Number 49, Froggy. Thank you. Cold here this morning, 45. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Pristine. We've always, yeah. Hey, it's me, Amberly. I don't, I don't know. Maybe I'll have to listen to get the logic. But I'm not gonna lie, his arrogance is very off-putting. His self-importance is very off-putting. Um, new work shoes and had to get the Croc work shoes. Crocs rock. Oh my God. I'm proud of her. Tell her I'm proud of her. Hey, Chopper. So I couldn't help but notice that, he did make this bold statement that YouTubers ruined the efforts to find Sebastian, that if it weren't for YouTubers, he could have been found. And I feel like that is such a fucked up statement to make, quite frankly. Excuse the language, but how else do you say it? Good morning, Jim Rebel. Is rainy 80 something here? Oh, I'm going to see the new Beetlejuice today, and I'm excited. I am excited for that. I think I've waited, I was going to say 4 years, but it's probably like 15. Yeah, that's okay, Billy Sunday. She can look at it from whatever perspective. Everybody's going to have their perspectives. My perspective is based off personal experience with and just his whole attitude. So he did make like this very bold statement. You're one of us, Celia. That YouTubers prevented Sebastian being found, and then he also claimed that the only time anybody should be going live is with actual updates. Well, ever since he has quote unquote entered the team, he has been live, what is it, 4 or 5 times already in like literally 24 hours. Yeah, it's a little telling. There's no way they did, Kelly. There's just no, Carrie, I'm sorry. There's no way. Redunculous, for sure. I think it's the same character. I'm not good with actors and actresses' names. Hey, Army, Jennifer. He want to have the dream team he has now. Isn't that the truth? I just, hey, Bluebird, but I understand others feeling differently. Absolutely, Brittany. I went in a chat last night. Let me tell you guys. Oh, hold on. Lee's coming in, states Sebastian could be in a school under an assumed identity. You're not for nothing, Nick's World, but we've been saying that for months. We've been saying that for months. Remember, somebody help me here. What's the name of that place? Hey, Maya, good morning. Whispers in the Shadows. Michael Keaton. I figured, is it, we don't care about the haters, bring it on. What is the name of that place that said that months ago? They said after, and I know, people are like, they're not very credible, but they said after, them looking into it and la-di-da-di-da, that they believe that, Sebastian may be in one of 2 states and one of those schools. Hey, moi. Why can't I think of what the name of it is? Help me out here. Hey, Scott. Uvalde. That's what it was. The Uvalde, I don't even know if I'm saying it right. How do you say that? They want to look into it? Who's they? I don't like them, Lady V. Good morning, Southern Sass. Isn't that what it's called? I'm saying it right, Uvalde? Okay, so they said that months ago. Let me type it in. I know, I meant to mute. I'm sorry. Yeah, so back in April, they made that statement. Let me, I don't know if it's actually on over here, but we're going to see. So the Uvalde Foundation for Kids recently announced via various social networking sites, including Twitter X and Facebook, that it is ending its various search efforts to find missing 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers. Since that announcement, as of this morning, several of our posts to this effect were removed by our media team members due to inappropriate messages being tagged to those postings. We felt it necessary. This is sad. Many have asked why we ceased our efforts for Sebastian. Many have also gone on more recently to question the legitimacy of our involvement in the case, with recent theorists going so far as to challenge this is sad. legitimacy of both our hearts and efforts. But anyway, they did make a post, and I do have it somewhere, where they stated they believe that Sebastian's in one of those schools. Good morning, Marshall Dove, infamous truth teller, Southern Sass. So these are that's a hole we went down, and I'm sure, with utmost respect, this is also a place the FBI went. No, do we think? Put a 1 in the chat if you think that the FBI, local LE, and TBI would, you know, look into that. Watching you live yesterday was good. Almost got. Oh, I'm glad you made it home safely. Association understands not connected to school. No worries, Brittany. Okay. Like, they would totally go down that route. I don't think they would just, I don't think they would just let it go by. Here's the thing. Just because, Scott, well, you do know, Scott, I know you know. Just because the police don't come out and tell us everything they're investigating doesn't mean they're not investigating. You know what I mean? If you believe that the FBI, TBI, local LE would have went down the road of looking into these schools, that we're stating, Sebastian may be in one of these schools where you send your child to go live. Hey, Emily, we have to give Ellie some weight in the situation. You have a detective on this 24/7. I don't think they leave sus things out, right? Hey, Trish Green Eyes, Music City Mom, Naomi, good morning, everyone coming in. Emily Pickles, I said Earth Angel already. Haven't even had my coffee yet, Kraken, I know. Seth hasn't acted so weird this entire time that something's going on behind the scenes. I'm sure, holy crap. I hope it's a good thing. Hey, T-Berry, Melinda, there are so many of these schools. I know of at least 3 around my area. Well, that reminds me, and I believe I said this the other day. Do you guys remember John and Kate Plus 8? The reality TV show? John and Kate Plus 8? So they're from Pennsylvania. And there was a time where Kate put one of their children into a facility, and John couldn't find that child. Anybody remember this? So the little boy eventually wrote a letter that reached out, and his father was able to find him. He's now speaking out. Hey, Lake Breezes. And not only is he speaking out, but other kids that were in that facility with him, as well as allegedly an ex-employee. So it is possible. And if you call these places because they are minors, if you're, just little old me calls, they're not going to tell me. Yes, Remy, but it's a situation where it happened, even though they had joint custody. It happened. It happened. So the possibility is, it's a very strong possibility that could be it. These YouTubers think they are partners on this case. They are not. And I think that's why he's off-putting to me. Listen, if they're able to come in, and I give more, credence to Dog. Dog, I think, is really the one with the access, with the money, with the team. I'm happy that Dog is on it. What I don't like, though, is this arrogant guy coming in and telling us what we've done wrong. And maybe that's because I'm a little stubborn. Kraken with the 20 months. Watermelons in the morning. Thank you, Kraken. A minor. Kids who were reported, but those were not kids that were reported missing. I understand that as well, Heather, and I'm sure the facility would have to say, like, hey, we may have your missing child here, right? Like, one employee at least would have to see them and recognize them. But I don't know. Some shady things go down. They would need a warrant. Yeah. What if Sebastian didn't know he was missing? My middle kid went to a school. They have both residential and regular transportation drop-offs. He looks so scary. Well, that's Paris Hilton's whole thing now, isn't it? She was kidnapped from her bed and sent to an abusive camp school. Yeah, that's a little bit different, but yes. She gave the perspective Nick. Seems he may be trolling Seth. I don't believe that. I utmost respect to Jay, but I don't believe that. I don't believe it. I don't think the mother would do that then. Report him missing and let Ellie waste all those resources. That's true. What if the mother doesn't know? What if the parents don't know? I don't know. What if one of the grandparents did it? What if the grandmother that stated she knew he was being abused did it? I do think it got too far, though, that if that were the case, somebody would have to fess up. I mean, you're looking at some serious time here. Maybe they didn't realize it would reach such levels of publicity, but who knows? You would think at that point they do the right thing. They sent me out west, and my mother had no idea. Charges were never filed on him. Wow. In this case, charges would definitely be filed. Lucy, thank you, my friend. Thank you. Hey, Stassi. Charges would be filed because of the manpower and the money that has gone into the search efforts of Sebastian. If they discover that he was in some type of living facility like that, oh yeah, they're looking at some heavy jail time. Well, that's what it is, right? Not only is he all over the place, but as he's just repeating the word salad and with the tone of I'm better than. And again, if he would have came out with a different attitude and didn't speak so uppity, like he was, maybe I'd feel differently. He's acting like he's a spokesperson for the team. Very arrogant one. I want to believe they will help, but damn, he's making a lot of promises and predictions. Nick pissed me off. 20 months, Miss L, my friend. Thank you. Nick is on some F shit. I agree with Emily Pickles. He also had harassment charges in the past. I don't know why certain creators are giving him a pass so they can watch the psychology behind it. I don't think there's any I don't think these guys are deep enough to have a psychology behind it. I'm just being honest. I don't think that is. I think that's giving them a little more credit. I mean, here's the thing, right? Same. I think, yeah, I agree. There's actually what? Go follow him and go live at the park? Should I just film him walking in circles, talking to himself at the park? Gee golly. Dog didn't know Sean's real name, promoted his book. Now Nick, he's dangerous in his community, needs to exit stage left. I'm in. No one is talking about it. It's so gross. About what? What did I miss, Stephanie? Hey, tattoos. Good morning. Military school where I live. The kids live there. Do they take children with disabilities? Somebody has to be given, the medications. Oh, she's giving them a lot of credit. Well, maybe she knows something I don't. I don't know. Are they crowdsourcing the reward? I don't think so. I don't think they have any intent on giving up a reward. She may have something like that to protect Sebastian. There are some states where if they believe a child is being abused, they will help hide them. A bit of showboating and gaslighting thrown at us 6 months later. Why? Yeah. And not only that mystery, but the whole you guys Sebastian could be laying dead in a ditch right now because of you guys. Excuse me? I don't think so, sir. No, I don't think that's true. I don't know where that came from. Yeah, he hasn't been mentioned. He's not up there he's not in the news articles. He's not up there on the news stations. He's nothing more than a ride along, if you ask me. Dog just released a book, so there's that. When's the last time any of us have really heard Dog's name? When he tried jumping in the Brian Laundry? I mean, come on. It's like a clown car in this case. They keep coming out. I agree. Good morning, Deborah. Mrs. Fletcher. Placing a student with special needs isn't as easy as neurotypical kids. There is an IEP, which is a legal document. There are meetings, PPTs. They're also legally bind and held between parent school. I'm more suspicious of Seth now that these people popped up. Nick doesn't kidnap kids twice, right? That was weird. He did threaten them. I heard him. He said, what you YouTubers have done is nothing. Nothing compared to what we'll do if they don't cooperate. It was a lot of something. All right, let's pull it up. Hey, Truth Reigns. Let's pull it up. I just, I hope our different opinions on this Nick character doesn't affect our relationships within the community. I don't think we need to let a clown like this come in and cause all this infighting amongst us. Which one? The latest one? The one a few hours before that? The one before that? For Mr. I'm only going to go live if there is an update. Which one do we listen to? What does Seth tell him to make him think Sebastian's alive and to squander a false identity? Well, it's a lot different than Seth's recovery efforts, right, Mia? Right? It's a lot different than what Seth told the polygrapher on Nancy Grace. Good day, capital K. Did you see where they said dude worked with JLR at World News Company? They did work together, yes. Hey, SS. They did work together. Good morning, Trisha. Thank you very much. Number 115. Their call-ins go after Chris and Katie. Yeah, absolutely. I don't believe this is one of those things where, like, they're going to act like they're friends of Seth, and I don't believe that. I just don't. And if that was the case, would they come out here publicly threatening people? Good morning, Pooh Bear. Well, all right, hold on. I need to talk to my governor, right? Let's think about it this way. A reward comes out. So, all right, so hold on. Let's think about, well, there's been one this morning, Proudfer. Let's think about it this way, okay? A reward comes out for 50K. These guys pop up. They're the ones we needed this whole time. They're sending in the what did he call it? Calvary. They're sending in the Calvary. They got all the answers. We're all idiots. We're morons. We're stupid. We're all the things, and they got all the answers. 6.5 months later, they're going to come in and save the day. If we're to believe that the FBI, I don't believe for 1 minute the FBI sent a guy from PA in to troll Seth Rogers. I'm sorry, I just don't believe that. Why would it be Nick? Why? What they would do is they would get a hold of somebody already close to Seth and they would sell them a pitch deal. Or they would send somebody in from Tennessee. Why would they send little old PA guy in there? I don't believe it. I think I said good morning to you, Sirius Black. Good morning. Do I think they will drop Betty? No. I just think Betty's not as useful as she was because of these ROs, so she's limited. Hey, Newfie, Jen Sparky, good morning. Why not, Nick? Because he's a clown. This all kicked off when the public started questioning if Seth was at work, if he was napping on the job. This all really kicked off after that reward money. I don't know. What do you guys think that's very plausible? Do you really think about it? Do you think it is plausible that the FBI hired Dog the Bounty Hunter and his little puppy dog, Nick, to get the answers? Hey, Captain Ganja, time traveler, Rowo. I don't know. I believe that, Maya. I believe that. I absolutely believe that to be true. I think this is no more than little small connections. We already know Dog believes it was custody dispute thanks to lies from Seth and Tony. Right. And even though there was no actual custody going on. Oh, thank you, Katie Joyless. Looks like they are ghosting Betty. She's no longer useful. Charms, good morning. Thank you. So long as they respectfully disagree, I will be respectful back. He said the FBI didn't come in until the end of August, and that's not true. They've been investigating all along. He's not getting any info from Ali. He doesn't even know the facts of the case. Dude, they couldn't even get that Seth's name was Sean, and we're trusting them to do some undercover op? Seriously. Think about that. They're after one thing to promote themselves. It's been like a year. It has been like a year. I'm glad you're still here. Hit the thumbs up. Hey, Jem. Good morning, Penny, for your thought. I do think the medicine part is just a PR stunt. The truth serum is scary. Like, the FBI is not going to tell these guys to come out and just make such asses of themselves. If anything, like undercover, like operations are usually undercover. Like, they're usually hush hush. When you're Parent News Nation and not one person cared to correct him, Remy, that was embarrassing. That was pretty insulting. Nick and Dog are either going to end up getting themselves badly hurt or getting someone else badly hurt. This whole thing is disgusting and needs to be stopped immediately. What would be the reason for a sudden PR stunt and a huge reward? Legit question. I think the FBI has leads. I think they have an idea, but I do not believe that they're going to send in, spiritual being. I always say that, you know, people, drug addicts can spot out other drug addicts, cons can spot out other cons. Absolutely. Look at what Andrew did to Hunter. He got that group to go to try to take Hunter from Alley and bring him to New York. I think they're going for shock and awe, shake everyone up. Oh, that's going to be hard to do. How can we do that? Be smarter than TikTok Tony. Hey, new kid in town. Thank you for hitting a thumbs up. No, I don't think they're going to get these two little I don't. Good morning, Michelle. I had my comment removed from a channel by YouTube and got a guidelines warning for calling dogs stupid. It's the only reason I figured they did it as I comment on Tony being a jerk all the time. Seth shouldn't have created a mob with disinformation against Chris and Katie, and they would have worked with him all along. All right, let me play it.
Tennessee on February he was last seen in his home in Tennessee on February 25th. He was put to bed, tucked in. Bad choice of words.
It's not a bad choice of words. It's an idiotic statement. Because one thing that I've noticed throughout this case is that everybody talks about Sebastian as if he's a baby, and it's very insulting. It is insulting to Sebastian. It is insulting to people or children with disabilities. Nobody is tucking in a 15-year-old child. Nobody. Just nobody. I think the reason they are using the wrong names to avoid getting sued. No, I don't. That's too far-fetched for me. Good morning, Andy. Michael Edge. I think Dog and Betty would be the dream team. They look alike. If this dude on, he looks a little strung out. Bless it. Bless it, capital K. The screenshots saying emails are from the same video. This transcript from it and timestamps. Thank you. Let me pull that up. Bless it. I think the FBI has more equipped people than little ex-felon paroled Nick. And again, I'm not judging him on his, I am a little bit, because they're very recent, okay? We're not talking about their 10 years ago, 7 years ago. We're talking like 2, 3, freshly out. I just don't believe that that's who they would get. All right, let's look at this. See, this is contradicting to what he said over here. If anybody else remembers, he already contradicted himself. He does say some really disturbing thing. Let's go, Brandon. Good morning. He's 15. I work with a doctor who's on a spectrum. He's brilliant, quirky, and adorable. Right. No, I just don't see it happening. I don't. Another channel saying Dog didn't need money. Dog is like millions in debt. If Dog didn't need money anymore, Dog wouldn't be working, and Dog wouldn't be advertising his freshly written book while pretending to care about a missing 15-year-old child who, again, they kept calling 16 and called his father the wrong name. Anyway, Nick writes, there remains a better chance than not that Sebastian Rogers, 15, might be alive. Wow. As the search for 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers continues into his 193rd day, authorities and search teams remain hopeful that he is alive. Search teams? Where are they at? currently suggests that Sebastian could be receiving care and possibly attending school under an assumed identity. Ah, okay. Dog in the team. Dog in the team of what? Dog in the team of who? Why would these guys be so secretive with their team if they were so credentialed by the elite? Dog and the team are actively pursuing new evidence and following up on tips. How are they doing that when he's in PA, Dog's over in Florida, he's saying another's over in New York, pursuing new evidence? These guys came along and within a day there was new evidence. Really? Well, the reward for information has been increased to 100 that not recognized by FBI. The public is encouraged to stay alert and report any credible information, avoiding unverified speculation that could impede the search efforts. The FBI would never tell you not to report a tip. They actually say the opposite. It may sound ridiculous in my opinion, but if they come in and find Sebastian, which I 100% want him found in a couple weeks, I'll be hard to have my mind changed. It's all been a setup. Anyone with information is asked to contact Sumner County. Okay. Okay, Nick. Well, why is this team secretive? Can't we know who this team is?
On the 26th, mother doesn't see him there. Reported missing. I might have the day wrong. I just got off a long call and there are a ton of dates on it. So I'm sorry. And I'm going to explain that call because it's a cool one. So what we know is that there is a high chance, and I don't like to say it like that, but there really is a high chance that Sebastian is alive, and that he is being taken care of, and that he's being kept, like, not beat or abused, but he is being taken care of, going to school. There is a lot of, there's more pointing towards that than any death, which is good, thank God. Because if we had gotten into this and the first overwhelming consensus from the CBI, FBI, and the other agencies was that if they had said that we believe he's deceased, that would have definitely changed a lot, but we wouldn't have known that until after we got involved, right? They don't tell us that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's very likely that he is alive and well. And I want to emphasize that because you guys have to be on the lookout now. I know months ago they had asked people to start looking at their surveillance again. And in the coming days, once we have a more narrow area, we're going to do the same thing and do that via press release to all the networks that will then blast it out. There are certain regions that we want to be on the lookout because we want to bring Sebastian home before Christmas, and we want an answer before Christmas. That might sound like sounds like a long time to you guys. It might not because it's been 7 months. The longest I've been on a single case or story is 69 days. For consistent working on, not including investigative reports that took 2 or 3 years. Those are done one day here, one day next month. I'm talking about this, where we are all in until capture, or in this case, rescue. We want to find him before Christmas. We don't want to be here in 2025 doing it, but we will be. We don't want to be here in 2020.
Sorry, I had to let him run really quick. He's not even in Tennessee. He's walking around PA at a state park. He called Seth by the wrong name several times. Nobody corrected him. All right. I hope he is found with the abuse that has been spoken of. I also hope neither parent gets him. That's my opinion. You know what, Trina B, the best outcome would be that he is safe somewhere in some type of facility where he is loved, respected, getting help, and becoming a productive member of society. I think that would be the best outcome we could get. Let me rewind. I know. Sorry. I apologize.
Then blast it out. There are certain regions that we want to be on the lookout because we want to bring Sebastian home before Christmas, and we want an answer before Christmas.
Who is we? What makes this guy so important? We
might sound like a long Sounds like a long time. To you guys, it might not because it's been 7 months. The longest I've been on a single case or
It seems like a long time. To you guys, it may not. Is that what he just said? Let me rewind that.
might not because that might sound like a long sounds like a long time. To you guys, it might not because it's been 7 months. The longest I've been on a single case or story is 69 days.
The longest you've been on, well, how long was your own case and story, sir? How long were you on that one? Like, stop acting like you're like some big known investigator out here. You're nothing more. You're nothing. You're no different than me. I mean, what? Right, the redirecting tips themselves. The reward has a lower threshold to get it. The reward doesn't require an arrest, enticing people to give their tips instead of LE. I mean, seriously. No, 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 he's not. He's not implying he's been involved here. He's saying the longest case he's ever been on has been 69 months. With utmost respect, he hasn't really worked any cases because he's not an investigator. What he has done is he has chased cases. It'd be like if JLR came out and was like, "Oh yeah, I was on this case for X amount of." You weren't on it. You covered it. You covered it. You're not an investigator. You're not credentialed. You're nothing more than a guy with time on his hands and cameras. That's it. Like he's trying to like up his importance here as he again walks in circles around a state park. You know, Beats Him said it the other day, and I couldn't agree more. If this guy was such a big deal, he'd be sitting down in a nice office right now, speaking directly to the camera, wearing a suit. He's nothing more than a goofy guy walking around a state park in circles talking to himself with the phone out. He is not that important.
For I mean, consistent working on, not including investigative reports that took 2 or 3 years. Those are done one day here, one day next month. I'm talking about this.
Investigative reports again. You're nobody. Woohoo.
Where we are all in.
Hey, Janae.
Until capture, or in this case, rescue. We want to find him before Christmas. We don't want to be here in 2025 doing it, but we will be. We don't want to be here in 2027 doing it, but we will be.
Again, if this guy was so important, we wouldn't hear what sounds like our brain cells being fried every few seconds and his audio cutting out. He'd have like actual, you know, again, if he would have actual cameramen, he'd be on the news, he'd be all those things. Well, Veronica's, I don't believe that this guy is trying to help Sebastian. I believe he's trying to help himself. Okay? That's what I think. And that is why, again, I give Dog credit. I think Dog has the ability to make a difference. I mean, he didn't really do much of Brian Laundrie, but a photo shoot, and he was on a whole separate island. But this guy right here, Veronica, if you knew him and you knew of his record and you knew who he was, the way he's speaking, the way he's insulting everybody, you know, I said it the other day. I don't care what side you've been on. I don't care if you're a creator I don't like. The fact of the matter is, this guy comes in, starts going live consecutively, and putting all of us down. When, remember, if it weren't for any of us, he wouldn't have an idea who Sebastian was. How dare he? DC with the 8 months, girl. One more month and we're going to have a little YouTube, baby. This man is yeah, he is. He's not here to help. I'm sorry. He's just not. He's here to help himself.
We don't want to be here when I'm 60, but we will be. And we won't, though, because let me tell you, the companies, there's a reason that the U.S. government and other agencies, but mostly the U.S. government, they work a lot with private contractors.
I'm going to pause this for a second again, right? This is what he does when he walks and talks in circles. He just said, how many times have we heard him say now that doesn't matter how long it takes, they'll be here? He said that so many times. He just said, here, I'll be here till I'm 60. And then he goes, but I won't because the people I work with, if you really believe that the FBI sent this guy in undercover, well, he's already spilled that, right? He's not good at working undercover. He might have been a local snitch that sold out like little dealers or something. I believe that. But as far as all this goes, I don't believe for 1 minute the FBI is going to trust a undercover operation into the hands of somebody like this. I just don't. I don't see it being possible. Hey, Ellen. Good morning. The likelihood of that is so slim. I mean, he just said it. He just said it here again, because the government.
The companies, there's a reason that the U.S. government and other agencies, but mostly the U.S. government, they work a lot with private contractors because for example, their cases are backlogged. They don't have the time to go through the minuscule tasks.
So they don't have the time to give it their all. You don't think the FBI has enough money, time, and resources to give it their all? You don't think that the FBI, I mean, again, oh my God. The FBI is the one that found out he wrote that bogus email. Yes, that is true.
They don't have the time to go through the minuscule tasks, the boring stuff, making sure.
The boring stuff. You think the FBI gets a tip and they're like, this is boring. We don't have time for this. You don't think that the FBI has, I mean, seriously, this guy's being serious right now. So they're going to hire a little no-name umbrella company, At Night Media, that changes their name to At Night Investigators. Doesn't even have a legitimate building. Right, this just doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense.
X, Y, and Z. There's the small, annoying tasks, and then there are the complex tasks. And in this case, we're not on it for any complex tasks. We're not on it for any small tasks. Our job is independent, but it's an interesting one because...
No, Nick, you don't get to do that. You don't get to do that. You don't get to sit there and act like you're some big deal. You don't get to come in and talk about truth serum and drugging people against their will, and then turn around and say that you're independent. You have already implied that you are working with the FBI. Put a 1 in a chat. This guy has gave you the impression that he is working hand in hand with the FBI. Put a 2 if you don't think he's given that impression. I'm curious what you all think. A 1 if you think he has implied or made statements to make you believe that he is a big deal working with the FBI. Or a 2 if he just didn't give you that impression. He has never implied that. Wow, we got mixed opinions on that. I think he has definitely tried to up himself to sound of importance. That's what I believe as well. This is a publicity stunt. Absolutely. A lot of 1s, but a few 2s too. 1, he tried, alleging in his own mind. He's trying to make us think it, right? Like he's implying it. I heard it was, Deborah. I'll have to check it out. Yeah, he has implied he's not, but he's also implied he is. It's very weird. He said the FBI calls him all the time. He did. And he said I respectfully disagree, Delicate Titanium. I do. I respectfully disagree. I'll give you a spot of unsolicited advice. If your great hope comes to the presser shirtless with bleached hair, jersey short tan, mullet, he's full of it and won't help at all.
Today we had a conference call with Dog's team, his high-risk fugitive task force.
High risk.
And it's a force that consists of a lot of wild guys and girls. Everything from every letter in the alphabet.
Yes, Flabber.
A former agent from that had just retired, fresh. So he's got some very good manpower. And then At Night has a lot of technology, a lot of resources, a lot of lawyers, a lot of people that can call people. We have...
Okay, so Dog is the one with all of the, the big guys, right? The former FBI and former this and former that. And then, like I said, Nick is the idiot with the phone. Like, okay, got it.
For example, there'll be a call with, I don't know the governor's name in Tennessee, I'm sorry, but
Oh, you
One
don't?
World's attorney is going to speak with the governor out in Tennessee
So
because
what?
One World's attorney is the former Pennsylvania attorney general, right? So that companies like this get involved because of the ability to make phone calls.
I can make phone calls too, bruh. I can make phone calls. Can you all make phone calls? I could call the governor right now too. Matter of fact, I wonder if the former governor is aware of what you're out here saying about him. My understanding, he wasn't very liked anyway. That's what I said, Froggy. The only government agency this man is in daily contact with is his parole officer. Let's be honest here, okay?
To get the higher ups, the governors of the states,
The
the
governors are
feds. I
higher
mean, the
ups.
FBI is already on the case. They are on it. They got on it and I know they announced that they've been on it for a while, but it was toward the end of August. That's not a problem. It's just
The end of August. I think it's even the way he talks. He was. Thank you, OG Blame Erica. I remembered hearing things, but I wasn't 100% sure. That's why I kind of said what I just said quietly. But my understanding is the same thing. He wasn't very liked. The former governor is the former governor for a reason. He wasn't very liked. Very shady dealings. Hey, Julie's Crafting. Good morning. Did you, Christina? Keep me posted.
because they had no need to get involved, right?
They got
Private
involved in
contractors come
August, but
in
they had no need.
when the case needs help, whether it be
Wait a minute.
making
February, March, April, May, June, July, August. They did not just get involved the end of August. What a liar. The FBI did not just get involved the end of August. Have a great day, Lady V. Thank you for being here. Huh. But he knows everybody, Rowena. He has big connects. Hey, Canadian Cookie. They are horribly done, Heather. I hate to be petty, but they kind of distract, to be honest. You know, you would think that his lawyer was a lawyer you see all over TV. He's fight. No, the one thing these people fought for, respectfully, was Bill Cosby. What was Bill Cosby accused of? Anybody? Hey, Keto Kim. Anybody remember what Bill Cosby was accused of? Huh.
awareness, whether it be locating subjects, whether it be locating intelligence. Thank you for the membership. I have to do shout outs down the road. I'm going to do it. I get lost easily if I get off track. But again,
God, he is so annoying. I'm sorry. He is so annoying. Again, if he wasn't here for the views, the clicks, the money, turn it off. Turn it off. But what does this big professional man need all this? Why does he need ad revenue and memberships? He's up there with the elite. Yeah, date rape. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. You know the material, that type of shirt, Ellen. Ugh, I can't stand that material. Seriously, it gives me, oh, Black Hawk. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, roofie and girls. How about when Nick said the other day, we have the power to get people out of the Me Too movement and to put them in. What does that mean? To put them in. We have the power to get them out of the Me Too movement, and we have the power to put you in. Anyway, he works with the elite. He doesn't need your money.
a lot of the services that are offered are like the truth serum stuff. Yeah, there are territories that's allowed, and U.S. territories. So the company that does that stuff, like it's a crack house. It's a literal operation,
I feel like we
and it's
heard
been
this
done
already.
before for other people. Now this is interesting because it's funny. This company that is essentially they've worked trials. They do everything from let me
Yeah, they're criminal Philadelphia lawyers. That is it. Why can't police use truth serum? Is truth serum torture? Truth serum on convicted M words. Constitutional Senate to federal laws. Know your rights. Yeah, I don't know about that, Nick. I don't know.
You think of names that I can say that won't.
Bill Cosby.
They have done a lot of.
No, tell us who they worked for. Tell us about Bill Cosby.
Done a lot of rather newsworthy stuff. They have successfully gotten people into Me Too and out of Me Too, which is wild, right? So they helped the government get certain people into the Me Too situation, and because they needed to, they were monsters, and then they helped.
All they worked with, Nick, all they did is no different than Tony Mathis being the spokesperson for Seth Rogers. Okay. His attorney, his at night media guy, was a spokesperson for Bill Cosby. That's it. That's all. There's nobody else. There's no other big names. Again, if it was such a big deal and it was such a big name, don't you think we'd be able to find all these news articles? How do you get into the Me Too? Right. I agree, Kay. It's sad. It is confusing. Again, if these guys were so well known, there would be article after article and news reporting after news reporting. Instead, all you have is what I showed you the other day, which is the guy walking Bill Cosby into his home. That's it. That's all. It wasn't nothing big. They didn't work with hundreds of celebrities and elite and known people. No, it was no different than Tony Mathis. He befriended Bill Cosby, not this guy, but one of the people of the umbrella company at night. And that's it. I mean, come on, that's all.
Helped others get out of it, which is wild. They are able to do that kind of stuff because not that they have connects, but they have manpower, they have technology, they have money, and they have time.
Because
when you have those things,
criminal defense attorneys.
And this is the first time I think I've been looking. This is the first time that people really know about the company. And that's for a reason. The only people that ever hire services.
Now, y'all riddle me that. And I'm about to turn this douche canoe off. Somebody please riddle me this. How is this the first time anybody's ever heard of this company if this company is so well known? Did he not just contradict himself? Seriously. Yeah, I agree with that. I think he's saying the Fed's got people wrongfully accused within the Me Too movement. I just don't believe any of this, to be honest. He literally just said that they've worked with the best of the best. That there's some names he just can't, let me think of what name I can name because there's only one, Bill Cosby. And then he's saying it's the first time anybody's heard of his company. No, it's not, because your company was At Night Media and now it's At Night Ninjas. What is going on here? What is going on here?
I could think of probably, I'd go to their following, and those are the kind of people they have. I mean, it's wild. The Clinton Foundation. Go to their followers. I could think of about the company. I've been looking. This is the first time that people really know about the company, and that's for a reason. The only people that ever hire services.
So this secret elite renowned company finally came out of their hiding. This well-known, well-established, strong, I don't know, remind me of some like Epstein Island, if I'm being honest, has finally come out of hiding because they want to get some publicity during the disappearance of a 15-year-old child. On YouTube. Right? I mean, think about it. Thank goodness they came out of hiding to help aid in the search of 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers. Before this, they were just too big and too known to come out and let their presence be seen. The company does not exist. Thank you, Michelle. It is a non-existent company. This is a LARP. They were At Night Media. Now they're At Night News. None of it is legitimate. It is all fraudulent. It is all BS. It is a bunch of nobodies trying to become somebodies. It is a secret group of wannabes. It's unbelievable.
I could think of probably, I'd go to their following, and those are the kind of people they have. I mean, it's wild. The Clinton Foundation, the Stallones of the world, Miramax, Warner Brothers.
Wait a minute. Go to their following. How can we get to their following, sir? Where can we find them? on the website you made 4 months ago? Do you guys know? It's funny that Nick here is claiming to be like tied in with the best of the best, right? Because again, during Danilo Cavalcante, Nick wanted to claim that Longwood Gardens, which is a very well established known place around here, it is historical. The owners are very well respected. Anyway, he wanted to say that they were involved in a cover up, that they were covering up. How far did that get you, Nick, with your elite team of renowned ninjas? How far did it get you? That's what I'm curious, because you didn't get very far. Matter of fact, you were claiming to know some of the best and the top of the top, yet you still couldn't get your ass in that hearing, could you? You still couldn't get a seat during Danilo's conviction, could you? I mean, I don't think people understand the gratitude of this. I feel like this guy's doing a confidence man scam, trying to put all these names of experts to trust him. Well, the names he's naming, I'm not going to trust. All right, let me see if it's over here. Hold on. I got to show you guys this for you to fully understand what I'm saying here. Because I remember a lot of locals got really upset about this. And somebody who works with the government doesn't do this. Okay. Give me 1 second to find it. Got to get past all his other attempts at being seen again on here that didn't work. I mean, I want people to fully understand what I'm saying here when it comes to this guy that claims that he is so big up there with the biggest of the biggest in PA, yet you still couldn't get your seat, could you? No matter how hard you tried. All right. Let me show you a few things here. Okay. This morning, we filed a procedural petition for reconsideration related to a request for information about Danilo Cavalcante at Longwood Gardens. We'll be submitting it to the court in the next few days. I'll give a full rundown. Now, his attorneys couldn't get past this. His attorneys, his big attorneys that work with the biggest of the biggest and have all the connections, couldn't get past this. Okay? His filings went nowhere. What his filings were trying to state is that they claimed that Longwood Gardens was covering up, that they were covering up because they didn't want to harm their image. You think that they put their image before the safety of the community? Hey, sweet Sativia. Miriam, thank you for the number 226. If you haven't, please consider hitting the thumbs up. So he files this. It should be noted, and again, he has big lawyers. Whatever happened, though, Nick? Right here, during the period of his evasion, the Gardens unwittingly or unwillingly provided refuge to the escaped prisoner. This man wanted to hold Longwood Gardens, a well-established and known honorable place in our community, and said they purposely helped hide Danilo Cavalcante. The text exchange and subsequent actions at the press conference highlight concerns over the independence of law enforcement communications. Here he is insulting law enforcement. But remember, he's well respected amongst law enforcement. On September 10th, despite the ongoing public safety risk with the fugitive still at large, Redmond's primary concern appeared to be the safety and image of Longwood Gardens. Do you think Longwood Gardens had any fault in the fact that an escaped convict hid in their area? Do you think that holds them at any fault of their own? If anything, it gave them more publicity because people over the world heard about Longwood Gardens. But ask Nick how far he got with his big lawyers. Ask him how far he got. Didn't get very far. I've been digging in Longwood Gardens and Dino Cavalcante. Initially, I faced resistance, but Chester County has now released redacted text between now former Chester County District Attorney Deb Ryan and CEO of Longwood Gardens. Right away, he asked for special treatment. This guy's a troublemaker. All he is if you're going to mention Longwood Gardens, to please give them a chance to respond. That's it. That's all. Now I got to get all the way back down again. My whole point being is that Nick is an agitator to law enforcement. He's not well respected. He doesn't have these big attorneys. He was still not able, after all his complaining and his submitting to the courts, he still was not able to get inside the courtroom for Danilo Cavalcante. He tried to ride out the attention he got on that case, and it died down. Okay? How about this? Join as we return to the heat of the manhunt with a key figure who played a central role in the apprehension of escaped Danilo Cavalcante. He'll be sharing insights from the manhunt. It never took place. Once again, YouTube has demonetized me for lacking originality and also denied my appeal. Why didn't your lawyers get it back for you, big guy? We intend to get a lot of talking points from the comments during the stream, then move to another platform that supports monetization. I thought you don't need the money. You're up there with the elite. What do you need the money for? You still believe this man's not here for money and views? Seriously. Even right here, he says he won't do his answers and questions here on YouTube because, well, they won't allow him to get money. By shifting our focus away from YouTube for interactive segments, we can leverage monetization on X and or Meta. Huh. Oh, look at what it says next. This will enable us to cover the cost of multi-camera live stream, essential for broadcasting from the core locations of the original manhunt. No. You work with the elite. You got all the monies in the world. Huh. Don't let this guy fool you. Don't let this guy fool you. Here we go, too. What happened to this interview? It never took place. Look at this. This is the @News Media, New York, USA. This is their business card, guys. I've been MIA, New York City. I'm coming back. We'll be revolutionizing the way information is obtained and disseminated from the 85th floor of the World Trade Center. Details coming in weeks. Whatever happened to that, Nick? Whatever happened to that? That big move over in New York City. This guy is a LARPer. He's a wannabe. Here's what it is. He tried to get inside the court here and they wouldn't let him in. You want to see how important Nick is? This is how important Nick is. What happened, Nick? Those big lawyers of you couldn't get you inside? You lost signal? No, you couldn't get in. You're playing around is what you're doing. He just got monetized the other day. The same day he hopped on a Sebastian video. A few channels kept telling everyone he's a fraud. I told others he's a fraud. You think if somebody tells you enough times they don't care about the money or the views, it makes it true? Unbelievable. What happened? I thought you were first court appearance. You couldn't get in, could you? Because you're not as big or important as you want to pretend you are. You never were. You never will be. You're somebody who wanted to make a difference and you couldn't. Now you're coming out here. You're using the disappearance of this 15-year-old child nearly 6.5 months late, and you're trying to get on it. Why? Because nothing else was selling for you, Nick. Nothing else was selling for you. @Night Media Group. What is this website called now? Look at this. Nick, whatever his last name is, on behalf of At Night Media Group, submits this emergency petition for reconsideration seeking extraordinary relief. This petition relates to the matter of Nick and At Night Media Group versus Pennsylvania State Police and is prompted by the discovery of new critical evidence and the identification of procedural and substantive errors in the PSP's response and the OOR's jurisdiction. Petition is prompted by discovering new evidence, namely a photograph taken by PSP whistleblower showing Danilo Souza Cavalcante on the property of Longwood Gardens. This evidence directly contradicting PSP's prior assertions, necessities, reassessments of PSP. This is a guy who thinks he deserves to know inside information during an active hunt for a murderer. And because he thought he was so important and so special, he deserved to know that information, and he wasn't given it, he tried to fuck with the government. What happened with this legal action? Mr. I got high-end attorneys. What happened? You still believe this guy has the power he believes he has? Claiming that Longwood Gardens ceased funding and the state was unwilling to assume the costs, so Cavalcante was able to fled. He wasn't able to. He never got away. There were police all over that. Do any of you recall while watching that coverage any time at all that the police disappeared and they all just went home? You're unbelievable, Nick. Nothing else worked out for you. Look, Pennsylvania State Police ignored deadline to provide missing exhibit. We addressed serious flaws and inconsistencies in Longwood Gardens related to RTK request. Whatever came of this, Nick? That's the question we all need to ask him. Hey, whatever came to your lawsuit against the state? Nothing, because your big lawyers aren't big lawyers. And on that note, I think we can get back to the topic. I just wanted to point out this is who and what he is. His lawyers weren't big enough. Our legal battle regarding material relates to Longwood Gardens. You're a trip. You're a trip. I'm asking about attempted escape, and you're asking us to file a right to know? You want us to wait 5 days to update the public on the dispatches from your office? Yeah, Nick. Yeah, because you're not special. Chester County, I feel for you. Now remember, this is a guy who's up there with the big of the big. Hey, Cheesy. All right, so we get the point. We get the point. This guy is out here selling everybody a bag of dreams and hope, and he's doing so in the hopes of retaining views and money from it. Nothing else, nothing more. That's it.
Brothers, people that need answers that are way, the higher ups and the companies that can't get it without hiring former intelligence officers, not me, but like the company that owns the place, right? And there's that are Warner Brothers, people that need answers that are way, the higher ups and the companies that can't get it without hiring former intelligence officers, not me, but like the company that owns the place, right? And that's why.
Remember, he's telling you all he works for a company that has access to the highest of the higher ups, but yet he couldn't get the information he wanted during a manhunt.
They're involved, and this isn't like we're competing with the law enforcement. We're not at all. So we spoke with TBI yesterday. Great conversation with Special Agent Simmons. He is in charge of the case for TBI. I'm sure you've seen his name, Bobby Simmons. Amazing man. very dedicated to the case, and he is thankful that we are here. And it's not because we're bringing it's not about the publicity. It's the fact that this company has opened up.
I thought it was about the publicity. Did anybody hear Nick say the other day that we're bringing the publicity? National news is going to light up. I did, Kim. National news is going to light up everybody. He sure does. He's just rehashing already used words and phrases, just filler, fluff. We can see right through it.
Communication channels that in the coming days, let's put it like this, there will be 5,000 or 6,000 faxes, missing persons faxes, sent to the need to know places. There will be automated phone calls.
What is
urging
this?
people to call in certain areas. There will be a lot of unique methods to try and zero in on where Sebastian is.
Can anybody help me make that make sense? Seriously, I'm seriously asking. What did he just say?
Phone calls and persons faxes, 6,000 faxes, missing persons faxes.
So there's going to be 6,000 missing person faxes, and this is all going to lead to the safe return of Sebastian? Peachy King, good morning. Thank you for the 7 months.
Sent to the need to know places.
The need to know places. What is the need to know places?
Urging people to call in certain areas.
What areas are going to get these automated phone calls urging people to call? What areas? What is he talking about? I want anybody who's in Tennessee, the surrounding area of Sebastian Rogers, to tell me if within the next 48 hours, if you're going to go ahead and get a fax or get an automated phone call or anything. I want to know if anything this man is saying is true.
Be a lot of unique methods to try and
to his number,
zero in on where Sebastian is. It is more likely than not that the boy is alive and that he is well. He's not tortured or any of that.
Right, Brooklyn.
And that's a good thing if he is alive. And that's not a confirmation that he's alive. And we get to that because there is only one indicator that there is foul play. One official. And I don't care what the YouTubers say. There is one official indicator.
Tell us what that official indicator is, Nick. You don't care what the YouTubers say. What are you? As you're on YouTube right now streaming, what are you? Better than
a foul play.
What is
it? It's way too soon to really talk about that indicator.
It's too soon to talk about that indicator? Is this motherfucker serious? It's 6.5 months later. They've already implied that Sebastian wasn't alive. And now he knows the one indicator of foul play, but it's too soon to talk about it. Haven't the police come out and say there is nothing to suggest foul play? And we're supposed to believe this nobody walking around in circles in a state park, sending out 6,000 faxes and automated robocalls that nobody has received? Oh, please.
But when they clear that indicator, then there might not be any foul play.
Well, we're being punked. We're being punked. There's no other answer for this. This is like a really bad reality show. We're being punked. It's been nearly 7 months and there's an indicator and they can't clear the indicator, but they clear the indicator, then there's no indicator. Is that what he just said? Is that not word salad? Anybody want to come up? Help me comprehend what this man just said? Did he just walk in a circle? Circle talk. There's an indicator, but if they clear that indicator, then there is no indicator. Okay, Nick. Okay.
And a lot of the people that have been pointing fingers, you guys pointed it at the wrong person, and it worked. It worked because let's put it like this: if Sebastian is alive, which is very high chance, and after you review the material, you speak to the agents directly involved. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to
You can barely speak to yourself holding a phone.
Understand that you need at least one indicator, okay? Something tiny. They did wild searches as far as when it came to searching the home of The parents, they did that very thoroughly. Now, this is where stuff got botched, and it was right after that. And this is where YouTube comes in.
I have, Daisy.
YouTube, you guys quickly turned. Opinion is amazing because we have the right to say whatever we want. Not whatever.
I want you all to remember that this guy's just walking in a circle talking to himself. This big professional here, just walking in a circle talking to himself. Okay? I don't know, Choo Choo, because I can't understand it. Because all I've seen so far to collab that they're working together is that Dog retweeted Nick's thing. That's it. I haven't seen Dog mention Nick on any of the news articles or any of the news nations. Nothing. So I don't know. I don't know if they're really working together. I just know that this guy is kind of with moldy croutons. Fact. Hey, Lovey. Right. He's telling us not to listen to anything. Only believe facts. But then they're calling Seth Sean. And they're saying Sebastian is 16, not 15.
The U.S., but we have the freedom of speech. But freedom of speech does not protect you from the consequences of speaking freely, guys. It just doesn't, depending on the situation.
He was about to tell us how YouTube ruined the search efforts for Sebastian. Now he's telling us about freedom of speech.
7 months ago, a little boy went missing.
6.5.
Within days,
a teenage boy.
There was a suspect, but not from police.
It took months.
From YouTube.
It was months, Nick.
Quickly
you weren't here.
Hit like wildfire. And what happens?
His father did it.
As the father is searching for his son.
Searching where?
It's possible.
On YouTube panels.
That attention right there, that whole spectacle.
Yeah, tell us.
Literally.
That his father created.
That freeway.
Oh, it did?
Execute that plan.
Oh. So while we're on YouTube talking, we are somehow distracting the FBI, the LE, the TBI from keeping eyes on their suspects. Wow. We got a lot of power here, friends. We got a lot of power. Just Jada, Sebastian deserves better than this clown. Amen. Amen. You all listen to what he just said? As Seth Rogers was on YouTube panels, we were helping them execute a plan. How? How are we helping execute a plan? But he says YouTube is a great community. You're right, Just Ginge. He sure did. He said it several times. He said the YouTube true crime community has solved so many cases. They haven't solved one. Not a single case.
And keep Sebastian alive and well. Keep in mind, Sebastian literally gave them that free air, that whole spectacle.
Look at him with his Red Bull. We're trusting a guy with a knockoff brand of AirPods, these silly glasses, a silly shirt, walk around in circles with one phone in his hand and a Red Bull in another.
Tension right there, that whole spectacle. Literally gave them that freeway to execute that plan and keep Sebastian alive and well.
Wow.
Keep in mind, Sebastian does not know better. He doesn't, if he's in a home with a
Sebastian doesn't know better. Sebastian doesn't know better.
Family member, like somebody that might, a distant family member, he doesn't know. If he's in the home with a nanny and they're like, yeah, no, your mom and your dad are coming, they said that you're going to be here. He doesn't know. He doesn't know better. And that's why whoever did this, you're getting some aggravated set of circumstances added to your sentence. And it's never too late to turn yourself in.
This fucking douche. This is unbelievable. I recall Seth Rogers saying something about he believes Sebastian's in a room right now playing video games and doesn't even know anything's going on. Anybody else remember Seth saying that?
And the best way to do it is to show up at the local police station with little Sebastian, and you hand him over to the police, and then you explain yourself.
With little Sebastian.
You don't have to call everybody.
Sebastian's taller than this guy. I want you all to remember that. As he continues to refer to Sebastian as a baby and, downplay his intelligence and all those things, I want you all to remember that Sebastian is taller than the guy that's speaking.
To call the cops. You get in your car.
Sure do, right?
And you drive to the local police station.
Everybody remembers it.
And you spill the tea. You tell them who told you to do what.
You tell
them what the plan was. You tell them why you got out of it. You tell them why you were scared to do it. Or why you were scared to call the cops. You tell them everything. And they will most likely be lenient on you.
They'll be lenient.
Because they want to find this boy alive and well.
With permission,
they want him to graduate. They want him to have a life. They want him to live. his life. They don't want it to be cut short out of some stupidity of somebody that's scared to call the cops because they think they're going to go to prison. No, it's not too late, but it will be too late very soon because
we're coming in, guys. With my Red Bulls, my vapes, and my cell phone, we're coming in, guys. The cavalry's here. The cavalry's here.
this case is about to start
We're done
costing
with him.
a lot of money. This is where
It's about to start costing a lot of money.
Comes in. When you have a private contractor that
if a private contractor decides to get involved in this case, the criminals will owe the private contractor not a penny. Nothing. They don't later pay the expenses when they're found guilty, you idiot. Whatever you're about to say is just not true.
Everybody from former AGs to former
Hey,
feds
Kathy.
to experts to body language experts that testified at trials like the JFK, literally.
They testified at the JFK trial? Did they? Who testified at JFK trial? Who testified in 1969? Who the fuck testified in 1969? You don't think the FBI has all of the access to all these things that this guy thinks he's bringing in? Really?
Everybody from former AGs to former feds to experts to body language experts that testified at trials like the JFK, literally. There is somebody that is...
No, finish your thought, Goof Troop. Finish your thought. Say it.
Still at the firm. It's an immediate relative of the body language expert from JFK's trial. Like, these guys hired...
Oh, immediate relative of the body language. So what are you talking about? So
those people, and that's why their clientele there's literally...
Yes.
It just says their retainers $500,000.
This is Betty's brother.
And that's the minimum. But that's why they charge that, because you don't...
This is Betty's brother. Do you think they go to Trump rallies together?
Get that kind of service.
Put a 1 in chat if you're done with this guy. Put a 2 if you want to listen to what he's saying. This is unreal.
Unless it's a big job, right? And you need a lot of money, unfortunately. When the FBI and the state here, and they heard 2 weeks ago, the company reached out to them 2 weeks ago, before any of you guys even... You guys were always tweeting me to get involved, but before any of you guys knew I was...
Who the fuck was tweeting him to get involved? Has anybody seen one tweet saying, hey, Nick, the Cap, get involved? One tweet. Can somebody find me one tweet of somebody asking him to get involved?
Actually going to tweet, I'm looking for information. We were in talks with TBI. We were in talks with the FBI.
Silly us.
We were in talks with our contacts in DC to see if we were going to step on toes.
He now has contacts in DC too. Wow. We went from New York to Philadelphia to Florida. It's all the way to DC. This guy really has some high self-importance here. 1 month, Angel Sleuth. Thank you. All right, I think we can be done with that.
Wanted to make sure we weren't. And honestly, we were still a little bit skeptical to get involved because we're 7 months late. And
either you were hired to get involved or you weren't. Either you were hired to get involved or you weren't. He has worked with JLR. That doesn't mean anything, respectfully. That means a damn thing. Yes, in the past, they both worked for the same At Night Media that is now known as At Night Private Investigators. It's an umbrella company that changes its meaning and its website depending on what it wants to get involved in. They're shady dealings. Respectfully, they really are. Thank you, Jill. Finish out what he just said here.
This is a lifetime commitment. It's not something we can get in and leave. Our contracts don't work like that. They don't have an end date because this company guarantees an answer. So when they do...
Oh, shut the fuck up. Oh, my God. This cracks me up because you have this guy saying that he was hired and they're in it and they're ready and all these things. And then you have him saying, you know, they're going to have the answers. They're bringing in cavalry. And then he's saying it's just unbelievable. So is he replacing Betty? Is he replacing Betty is my question, because I really believe he is. And I say that because Betty can no longer do the things she was doing. She can no longer be the harasser, the stalker. This guy legitimately threatened the Proudfoot. He said, if you think anything you all have done to the Proudfoots has been bad, you have no idea. I contacted Penn State, let their PR department know exactly what these weirdos insinuated. They were already aware and are taking care of it. Wow. Good morning, Heather Dawn. All lies. He can sure spin his stories on a dime, but they sure aren't believable. Just like his arrest. It gets better? Oh, Lordy. Half the chat didn't want to listen to him anymore, but all right.
That when they don't have an answer in 2 weeks, what do? Ramp up their search. 2 weeks again, ramp up the search. I'm pretty sure the FBI and the TBI don't want to look like they are being, like they don't have money, or maybe that they need.
The TBI and the FBI doesn't want to look like they don't have money? Every 2 weeks, they're amping up searches? What is this guy talking about? What is he talking about?
Some money from a private
Just a
contractor.
girl. Good
And
morning.
the private contractors bring in more entities and get more done. It's not going to happen. So what's going to happen is the FBI is going to bolster their team.
Hey, Amy.
TBI is going to bolster their team, and we're going to have a lot of people looking for answers. Right now, we have received many tips. Your tips that you have sent us and the ones that
You don't deserve tips. You guys want to see more about this guy? Normally, I want to do this. I don't like doing this. It's not really my style to do it. But he's annoying me.
Episode is one Nicholas Hatziefstathiou. First name is spelled Nikolaos, and was reporter, racist, fraud, and liar, who is currently incarcerated in the Pennsylvania Department of Corrections. Let's take a look at this guy's criminal history here for a second. Audio podcast people, I'll be describing what's on the screen here in a minute because you're not going to be able to see what they're looking at here on this podcast. Let's wait till it loops through a couple of times.
Guana Boot Camp.
Okay,
He was at Guana Boot Camp.
Okay. In December of 2015, he pleaded guilty to possession of a controlled substance, harassment committed repeatedly in an anonymous manner, and filing a false report to falsely incriminate another. And at that time, he was placed on 2 years probation.
Hello, friends. Pearl, Chopper, you guys are up.
All right. I'm going to say this is going to get a lot worse before it gets any better.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It's the truth.
Good morning.
I will say, like I've been saying, he's coming off as a used car salesman, and he doesn't even know the product he doesn't know any information on the product he's selling. Basically, he's just
Right.
talking out of his ass. He's trying to say things that he thinks people want to hear.
That's exactly what he's doing. He's telling everything he thinks people want to hear. He's also selling a pipe dream of working with the elite and the renowned and the best of the best. You know, it's unbelievable.
And I think that he suggested that he was trying to, I want to say chorus, getting Chris and Katie on News Nation.
Please.
Here's the thing with that. For me, if you supposedly have any information or know anything, to me, you're trying to fish for information.
Right.
If you're doing that, you have nothing. It's what it sounds like. You have nothing. He has nothing to bring to the table. He has no original ideas.
He's nobody. That's the thing. You think this guy knows more than the FBI? You think this guy has more resources than the FBI? Because that's what he's implying to everybody, that he has better resources than the FBI. It's unreal. Yeah, the man on screen does have a lot of. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
What I'm gonna say is with this guy, how he's coming off, I don't think that any type of of logic. How do I explain this? Even if you give him facts, he's like Betty. He's going to believe what he wants to believe.
Yeah, probably.
It's going to be like talking to a brick wall. There's no there's my gosh, negotiating with this guy.
Oh, he's a
He
know-it-all.
has he has it's like this. He's how he's coming off is he's looking in only one direction, and he's not going to look in any other direction besides the direction he wants to see.
Right. Because he was hired by Seth and Seth's team. That's why.
Yeah, here's some advice for Seth. People that you're hiring that are like this is not helping your image at all. It's actually making you look worse.
Yeah. Which is exactly why I'm about to play his actual record so people can know who and what he is.
Yeah, and my question is, I think that I heard that Tony has a record. I don't know if this is 100% accurate or not.
It is.
Why are you hiring people like this? I'm saying I don't have nothing against someone that has a bad past or not, but when you have a past when it involves con related things, situations,
Right.
this is not helping.
And
This is giving people the wrong impression.
Yeah. 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 Have you heard his record yet, Chopper?
Not yet.
Well,
Not yet. But like I said, is what I'm talking about when it involves Nick is what I've seen from Nick with his videos.
Right.
That's what I'm addressing right now. But as what Nick is doing, he's coming off as a con artist. He's coming off as a used car salesman, but at least a used car salesman usually knows the year and the make of the model of the product they're trying to sell. This guy,
right.
He has nothing.
I agree. There's no way. For those who believe the FBI hired this clown, I mean, why would you even believe that? First off, let's get realistic for a minute, right? Sorry, Chopper. I'm going to mute you for 1 second.
No.
There's a small echo, if you don't mind, so I'm going to mute you for just a minute.
Yeah.
Let's get down to the real optics here, right? Let's just really break it down. We are to believe that the FBI hired a YouTuber who is connected to a YouTuber, right? Think about this. We know without a doubt that Nick the Cap here was tied in at one point or another with JLR. Whether they're still connected or not, that's up to JLR if he wants to disclose it, whatever. So JLR is connected to Nick the Cap here. Nick the Cap here is connected to Dog the Bounty Hunter. The FBI went and hired these YouTuber goofs to come in and work some undercover operation. Seriously. Think about it. Think about what I'm saying here. You think they hired this man from Philadelphia to walk around a state park and tell you how big and the cavalry's coming? It doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. There are actual people that the FBI could hire or send in undercover and work as an op, and it wouldn't be these guys. I'm telling you. And if it were, they wouldn't be making the loud, proud moves that they're making. Just doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. They're talking in code to trap someone. I don't believe it. I think that's a fantasy. I think that is playing out that this is like a reality TV show instead of the fact that this is an actual missing child's case. What do you think, Chopper? Pearl, keep falling down, Pearl.
I highly doubt the FBI hired this guy to do anything. Why would the FBI, who are most people that are in the majority of people in the FBI are college educated people. Okay. Why would they risk their reputation for this guy? I don't see it. Come on, if they were going to pit someone, even an actor, whatnot, they would at least hire someone that can actually pull off the job. This guy's not doing nothing. This
Dog couldn't even get the name.
This guy was probably picked up and hired off of Temu.
Right. No, he was simply asked to come in, or he simply came in for the views. That's it. That's all. But I'm gonna play his record, Chopper, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, let's get to the goodies.
Apparently, he didn't learn a damn thing from his 2015 charges, because on October 21st of 2021, Nick the Hat was found guilty after a 3-day trial on a slew of criminal counts: tampering with public records / information,
Wait, I have a
forgery
question.
after writing.
What?
Did he have a jury?
I don't know. I don't know.
He was found guilty. That means
I'm
that
sure he did, because the government pursued these charges. The government.
But then does that mean that he let's say maybe he took a plea deal?
I don't know, Chopper. If you let us listen, we may find out.
Yeah, sorry, I get excited.
That's okay.
That's part of the ADHD.
No problem. Hey, Lenny. All right, let's hear
With
it.
public records / information, forgery after writing, forgery uttering forged writing, and unsworn falsification to authorities, forged, altered document. In January of 2022, he pleaded guilty to other charges
2 years ago, okay? 2022, 2 years ago. Not 10, not 15, not 20, 2 years ago.
of theft of property, receiving stolen property, sell offensive weapon, and conspiracy. Conspiracy. Now let's take a look at some of the news headlines from
Thank you,
2019 and 2021. Subject of Action News investigation charged with fabricating racist email. Pennsylvania man Nicholas Hatziefstathiou busted for impersonating journalist. Nick the Hat guilty on all charges. Mountain of evidence paid off for prosecutors. Journalist at center of racist email scandal found guilty. Fake journalist convicted of elaborate forged email scheme, all for a story. He faked being a journalist and targeted Pennsylvania leaders. Now he'll head to prison. Nick the Hat gets 2 to 4 years in jail for...
Look what he's wearing on his hat there.
This is sounding like JLR.
Chopper. You know,
Yeah.
I'm friendly with JLR. Let's be respectful to my
I'm
team.
talking about past tense of it.
Yeah.
Brandon,
I mean, again, this was 2 years ago. Kathy, you're breaking up, hon.
it's this generic tablet. Is it really bad?
It's not too bad. You just sounded okay there.
Okay. I just say you like the little papas too. Betty going to be mad at you.
Oh boy.
You know she's
Betty.
still in love.
Betty's being replaced. Betty's being replaced. Yeah, he creates fake evidence. He just told us all that they're investigating new evidence they have. I mean, wait till you see Warner's brother hat. Yes, wait till you see. I mean, you know, he wants you all to believe he's connected to the elite. He big guys. No, I mean, it gets worse than this. Watch.
Fake racist email. Also pose as reporters in emails. I said those stories go from 2019
He's a
to
LARPer.
2021. Now let's view 2 news clips. The first one is from Fox 29 Philadelphia that aired on July 24th, 2019. And the second one is from ABC Action News 6 Philadelphia that aired on October 23rd, 2021. Excuse me.
Exactly, Rebecca.
Delaware County man is charged with identity theft and forgery in connection with an alleged plot to embarrass a court probation officer. This bizarre scheme involves a 25-year-old self-described news reporter whom prosecutors say is nothing of the kind.
Our self-described news reporter. He's now a self-described secret agent.
Bruce Gordon.
Sorry, do you have something to say, Kath? No, your mute is still, sorry.
Reports from the courthouse in media.
There he was during happier times, for him at least, posing for photos with Bill Cosby during Cosby's sex assault trial. Nicholas Hatziefstathiou, self-described chief content officer at something called YC News.
YC News, now named, again, remember I keep telling you, it's an umbrella company. It is now At Night Media and has now changed names again.
Wasn't
Delaware
Bill
County
Cosby found guilty?
What?
Wasn't Bill Cosby found guilty on those accusations?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why he said they worked with the Me Too movement. Yeah, they worked with Bill Cosby. That's it. That's all.
District attorney says Nick the Hat, as he's known, was not a journalist, but a fraud.
This defendant manipulated the facts and created a story all made up by himself.
Prosecutors say Hatziefstathiou falsified documents to pose as a New York Times reporter and Good Morning America producer to ask the DA's office for comment on a...
That is actually funny because in Kendrick Lamar's song, we all heard JLR's rap when he does that, They Ain't Like Us. That is why Kendrick Lamar is saying, hey, 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 run for your life. He's saying that about Bill Cosby. That is funny.
Racist email purportedly sent by an officer of the county's adult probation and parole office. The prosecutor says Hatziefstathiou created the phony email and tried to pass it off as a legitimate scandal to be reported on his website, perhaps in an attempt to disparage the probation officer who had supervised him after a past conviction.
In one fell swoop, he attempted to decimate years of well-earned and good reputations.
Says the district attorney of Hatziefstathiou.
He created this email. He created this false narrative. He created this problem and is now going to face the consequences.
Also seized from that home in Broomall a stolen police-issued taser. Nick the Hat is expected to surrender to authorities on Thursday. If convicted on all counts, he will be doing his next reporting from a prison cell. In media, Delaware County, I'm Bruce Gordon, Fox 29 News.
Well, Nick Hatziefstathiou, known by his nickname Nick the Hat, was found guilty of fabricating a racist email from a Delaware County probation officer. An Action News investigation first brought you this story 2 years ago in an exclusive report. Well, he runs a website called YC News, which is short for Young Constituents. Prosecutors say he altered an email to include racist language, then published the email on his website. He was found guilty of identity theft, forgery, and other related charges. Sentencing is set for next month.
Okay, I'm going to jump down, but before I do, I want to say something. And it's just, and this is directly to Seth. Please stop lowering the bar. I know it can get lowered, but please stop.
Yeah, this is terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Yeah, good to hear you on panel.
All right, well, thanks for having me up here.
Thank you, Chopper. Have a great day.
You too.
Excuse me.
I went over some of this the other day. I was blown away by this dude. I'm blown away by the people that are buying into his crap, even without knowing any of this stuff. The stuff he's saying in his videos, come on, it don't make sense and it don't add up.
Right, it's ridiculous. He's a pipe dream.
Yeah,
It's a
the
pipe dream.
FBI is not giving him any information in Sebastian's case.
No, there's no way. He's a nobody. He's not even in Tennessee. And he wants everybody to believe he's in Tennessee. It's
No, he said he wasn't
unbelievable.
heading there for another 10 days or something, I thought.
But yet he put in his thing, day one, Tennessee, here we come. Like he was trying to give the impression as he walked around a state park. Again, if he was as professional and renowned and elite and backed up by all these high powers and all this money, why is he walking around a park? Yeah, do you have headphones in, Kathy?
No, it's a cheap iPad. It's a cheap tablet. Is it that bad?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
All right, I'll try to jump down and come back. I'll try to come back in.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Hey, Pearl. Are you there, Pearl? I don't know. All right, we'll play this while we wait and see. What happened to the sound?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let me give you some more insight on what led to Nick the Hat's conviction on felony and misdemeanor charges, and I'll explain why I have an interest in this guy. Pennsylvania state prosecutors at the trial
It's a
said
different Pearl,
Hatziefstathiou, quote,
It's a different Pearl's girl. Are you there, Pearl's girl? No, her sound's not working.
yielded electronic devices as weapons, unquote, by creating a racist email he claimed came from a Delaware County official who was probation and parole department supervisor Jeff Roney, spelled O-R-N-E-Y.
I love all the girls. Wop, wop, wop.
He published a story on his website, according to the prosecutor, YC News, in 2019, she said, saying a confidential source forwarded him the racist email he claimed came from Roney. That email, which he published in his article, used the N-word and mocked the county's black residents. When the YC News article was published, it caused an uproar in the community and outrage by local officials. As a result, an investigation was initiated that determined there was no such email in the county system. Investigators obtained search warrants for Hatziefstathiou's cell phone and laptop and discovered that he had created the email himself, using a legitimate email from his own probation supervisor as a template.
Now, the story that he tries to sell is that he was given that from an insider, and to protect the insider that gave him this information, the insider that is a police officer, he took the hit for it. That's what he wants people to believe. That's not what happened. Right. I think do you think it was the reward? I think it was the reward. I don't know.
Template. During the trial, forensic experts recreated the process
with permission
Hatziefstathiou used to fabricate the email by scanning the email he had received and used photo editing software to insert the racist message.
Yep.
Hatziefstathiou was also convicted of impersonating New York Times reporter Liam Stack, spelled S-T-A-C-K, and ABC News producer Stephanie Walsh.
So he also impersonated 2 news reporters. Okay? Listen to the severity of what this guy did. I mean, it's a big deal.
WALSH, by using phony email accounts that he sent to the district attorney's office in 2019. During the investigation, detectives found evidence that Hatziefstathiou had emailed then district attorney Kate Copeland from the phony accounts he created in the names of Stack and Walsh. In the messages, Hatziefstathiou, posing as the reporters, pressed Copeland for information about alleged harassment against him by a Marple Township police detective.
You guys still believe he's working with the FBI? You really believe? I want anybody who believes he's working with the FBI, put a 2 in the chat. If you don't believe it, put a 1. I'm going to link you guys to this guy's video. You can watch it. I mean, he goes down, he goes through it all. This guy's actually credentialed. He'll break it down if you have more time to listen. His voice is a little soft for me. But you'll be able to watch it all in your own time. There's just no way that Nick is working with the FBI. It's just, I can't believe it. I won't believe it. Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe he's a snitch, Froggy. Maybe he's a snitch, and because he's a snitch, he thinks he's like more important than he is. You know what I mean? Like maybe he's a little Delco snitch. I don't know. But it's hard to believe that he's anything other. Like, it's hard to believe he's working with the elites. Again, that they're telling you right here that in 2019, the news company he worked for was this fake name that, again, then changed to At Night Media. And now all of a sudden is At Night Media, which is a private investigative service starting out of $500,000. Come on. Yeah, I would love to hear if anybody does believe there's something else going on here. I'm open to opinions. I just don't believe it. I think he thinks being a snitch helps him out. Yeah, I do too. Hey, Kathy.
Yeah. Hopefully better.
It does sound better, yes. Let me fix my layout. You sound a lot better. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, this is, I don't know how people think it's anything other than what it is. An American hero. Is he Mr. Tomato Head? I know he has a lot of credentials.
Yeah.
working with a psychic used in a Nick Ballard Sound of Freedom movie. Oh my goodness.
And allegedly, he was involved in a situation where he altered photographs to make it look like a person was doing something to make it look bad in the case of a missing child. Unfortunately, that person unalived himself and is no longer here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't heard that.
I'll send you something. I'll email you. I can't call or text you because my phone got stolen the other morning.
That actually happened? He framed?
Well, it didn't work, thank God, but they were put out into the public and people went at this dude hard, man.
What missing child? Do you know the name?
Summer.
He did something in Summer Wells' case?
That's what I was told. That's what I was saying. Behind the scenes, altering photos.
I didn't hear anything about him when it came to Summer Wells. I don't know.
Assisted someone who was very much in on the case. He wasn't like, per se, the one, and it was all done on Twitter.
Wow.
Yeah. But I went over this the other day, and I'm like, I didn't even need to watch these videos because I had already watched them when he came out with Cavalcante. So
yeah.
I knew this stuff was out there. But just listen to what the man says. He talks in circles, and he makes no sense. None of these agencies are working with this man. They're not using no kind of serums. There's no hospital going to get involved in that.
No way.
It's
There's just
insane.
no way.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually stupid, to believe that is even a possibility.
Yeah.
Oh, it's aggravating.
Say hi individually in chat, but my tablet won't charge, so I can't tag individually. It's a whole mess. But anyway, the lady that took my phone must have used it more than me, so she can have it. But
the hell? She's talking about Jose? I don't know. I never heard anything about him with the Summer Wells thing. I'd have to see whatever it is they're talking about.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. I've never. He was behind the scenes. He
I heard
assisted
it was
on
yesterday,
Twitter.
but that has been going around.
What, SS?
I said the first time I heard it was yesterday, but I have seen several people saying that about the Summer Wells.
That's the first I've heard of it.
Yeah. Am I coming in clear?
You are, yeah.
Yeah, you just cool. But yeah, it might just be me.
Where does Seth get this kind of money to hire this company for $500,000? I don't believe anybody hired these guys. I believe they're coming on their own, looking for attention, looking for views, looking for money. I think his other content is dried up. He wasn't getting many views. He saw how many views JLR was getting from this, and he's jumping on it. That's all I think it is.
You're spot on. And also, there's no way that his real retainer is $500,000. It's impossible for him to bring that kind of value to a case.
It was ridiculous to believe that, and believe that he has connects that the FBI doesn't. Get the fuck out of here.
It's insane. This is a guy who's worked and done bounty hunting for part of his life. The first part, he had issues or whatever. Well, there's FBI guys that are his same age that have done this day in, day out since they were, probably a teenager. Like, to think there aren't, countless people they have on the payroll that are so much more adept at this than Dog would ever be is just laughable. It's like the people positing that the other guy can help in any way with the video stuff. It's like some random dude in his studio with a laptop does not have the ability to outpace the FBI.
Well, not only that, but think about this, right? If Nick worked for this team of elite, this team that, was purchased to come in at $500,000, they wouldn't have him set up in an actual studio with a suit on advertising this. They'd have a clown walking around holding a Red Bull and a vape, talking to his phone in circles. Be honest here.
It's exactly what I'm saying. It's totally absurd. Walking around a park and look at, like I said about the way the Dog come out too. They did a presser and this dude's he had his shirt unbuttoned literally all the way down to his belt buckle. He's got like turquoise jewelry tied around his biceps, full mullet bleached. It's like.
Well, you're talking about Dog, yeah.
Yeah. Well, both of them. Nick too. He's ridiculous.
Somebody has horrible feedback. Do you have something bumping in the background?
Me?
Yeah.
No,
like
I don't reckon.
Window? I don't reckon. That's cute. It sounds like a window or something. Pearl
No.
Girl, can you hear us?
Yes, darling. Can you hear me?
Now we can hear you. Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
so sorry to interrupt that. Hello, everybody in chat and Granny, and hope everybody's doing well.
Thank you. No, and I'm with you, SS. I just think that if this guy worked with such a renowned team of elites with all the money and all the access in the world, they would have him set up to advertise them a little bit better.
Yeah,
Instead,
for sure.
they have a phony website that nobody can find. Type in the website. If you're lucky if you come across it.
That's my point too, Jess. Just going about it slightly different, but yeah, it looked way more professional. I mean, you know, a used car salesman's going to have on slacks and a button up.
Yeah. I mean, well, Dog's a reality TV guy. I expect nothing different from Dog, but just focusing simply on Nick, who is claiming to work for this elite team of these well-established, you know, people with an endless flow of money that just want to help find Sebastian. They wouldn't be doing it through Nick. He would not be their spokesperson. And if Nick was so special, why wasn't Nick on News Nation? Why wasn't Nick in any of the articles? If Nick is the man representing all of this, why isn't he getting the recognition?
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
No,
They
none of
just
it.
keep on messing this case up any worse.
And you know, Dog is all about, let's face it. He's been trying to get back on reality TV. His last show, halfway through filming, got canceled because of his racist antics. Yet again, not the first show that's been canceled because of that.
Yeah.
He's doing he wants back on reality TV. If he does anything in this case, he will film it all and try to sell it to A&E. If he shows up at the courthouse in support of Betty, that's not for Betty, you dumb shit, Betty. It's for him.
Yeah.
It's so he can get the attention and honestly, I hope, and she's telling everybody that Seth and his whole family's going to be there. Dog's going to be there. She's trying to get all these people to overcrowd the courthouse in support of her.
Wow,
Does anybody else have a problem with Seth and his family being there to support Betty? Am I the only one?
No, it's disgusting.
No, it's disgusting. It's pathetic.
It's
That's
the
what
fact that all these people are taking the focus away from Sebastian while screaming about Sebastian. That's what's annoying.
Yeah, because that's putting Betty before your son, in my opinion. And that's just my opinion.
Yeah, well, I mean, imagine. I mean, I can't imagine what it would take to get me to go to a court here and sit on the side of somebody who was going at my baby's mama like that. I mean, it's. I don't even understand what has to be going through this dude's head to even consider a proposition like that.
None of these people are even going to be allowed in the courtroom.
Yeah, well, that too.
I mean, that's just stupid to believe that they're going to have, you know, they're not going to allow this to turn into a circus.
Last time they did have it open to the public and they did let people in because there was people in there for Betty, and Betty admitted that she had the court hearing and she had to go back and re-listen to it. So one of the three people she had in there recorded that hearing for her, and she made it clear that she had to go back and re-listen.
Yeah, you caught that for sure.
I just think the whole thing's stupid.
Yeah.
People that are saying, don't call them. What do you think, we're going to kidnap him again? Are you stupid? Yeah, he did say. He says a lot of weird shit. That's what happens when you give a guy hyped up on Red Bull some new attention. That's what happens. That's exactly what happens. That guy walked around in circles, repeating himself for over an hour, and we're supposed to believe he's intelligent enough to pull off a secret op? Come on.
And he did say he was in Tennessee. He did allude that it was his first day of searching for Sebastian, but he was actually, according to him, in Philly.
Right.
Well, I mean, is he still on parole? I mean,
I have no idea.
Can he leave the state? I mean,
with permission, he'd be able to leave the state.
Yeah.
Even to go down there and meet up with other people with criminal records and get involved in a case.
I'm sure they have no idea I'm sure he's a fibber. I mean, this guy doesn't seem.
Yeah.
I just listen. If they were really in it for the right reasons, they would have been privately in Tennessee doing their work. They would have never made it publicly known. They want to be seeking out, yeah, maybe Dog would do News Nation or whatever. Sure, fine. But meanwhile, these guys would be actually setting up an operation with all their insight and intel and all their money, and they'd be boots on the ground right now, not walking around a state park holding a Red Bull and a vape.
Yep,
I agree.
agreed.
Totally agree.
Oh, it's like comical to think that people are putting so much value in this clown.
Mm-hmm.
Well, look at it. They wanted that one girl to come in here, and she was wanting to search. Well, she was on probation; she couldn't go.
Yeah,
And
Nina Glass.
Yeah.
We got our PI or our spokesperson. Evidently, he's been in so much trouble. And then you've got this guy here that's stepping up, and then you got BHB. I mean, how many more nuts are we going to get in it?
But come on, we're not supposed to suspect that Betty's not being compensated for her constant attacks and harassment on the Proudfoots. Yet her bills being paid, her lawyers being paid, steak dinners, super chats. What's going? You know what I mean? It just doesn't.
Well, that's the same thing with this Nick guy. He's being paid by Seth's team, and he's already talking about the Proudfoot and making them guilty and disparaging them while screaming, he's only here for Sebastian, no drama. They work for the elite. There's no professionalism to what's going on. I love the fact that there's new eyes on Sebastian, and I hope they do orchestrate a major search effort, and I pray Sebastian is found. I just don't have faith that these guys are in it for the right reasons.
I agree.
I don't think those things will happen with these people, though, personally. And also, just as an aside, I don't know that I've ever seen three more unlikable people picked to be the PR team for somebody. I mean, Tony, Betty, and Nick the Cap. I mean,
it just makes no sense.
Yeah, it's like the polar opposite. What you do, it's nuts to me.
And if they were hired and they truly cared, why are they still sitting in separate places? Nick's over here, Dog's over there. Where's this team of Avengers? Where are they at? Why aren't they boots on the ground making things happen?
They need to come in non-biased, not state their opinions, and go at their job.
They already did it, though.
Dog did that in his interview. Say, it's a custody battle thing. Poor Seth. No, dude, you got the wrong situation.
That came out when Seth was being interviewed or something, and he had said that him and Chris had been talking, and excuse me, they were having issues, and he had told her that it was either him or me, and
I saw a rumor based off Seth's rumors.
Yeah, and this is all the BS has came from him.
Right. Seth turned this in when Nick's out here saying, oh, you YouTubers distracted by picking up suspects and da-da-da. No, Seth did that. Seth did all of this. Nobody else but Seth.
Well, I've said it a million times on my lives.
Found.
But I doubt he watches me, but he probably watches you, Granny. So, Seth, this is to you. Please. I'm begging you, dude. Don't put this woman before your child. Do not take you and your family to that court. Don't matter how you feel about your ex. At the end of the day, she's your baby's mother. That's it. Just don't do it, Seth. Don't do it.
We already know he's going to. He's a spiteful guy.
Yep.
And you're right. Nick obviously is trying to make money for himself with an ad playing every 7 minutes. Exactly. But he's not here for the money. I just showed you all where he even said he's going to go to different platforms with a different case so he can collect as much ad revenue as he can, as much monetization as he can. Well, who does that if you work with all these elite? Why do you need all this money?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yo.
While I ask, show the money. You putting up 50K? Where is it? Show it.
Right.
Where's your 50K?
Can I kind of just ask you, Jess, or try to run through this? Like, the idea that is being pushed, or that I hear from people who disagree with us, is basically that somehow these people are going to come in, agree with everything that Seth says, get more attention, blame the Proudfoots publicly. Then there's a mystery step, and then the last step is Seth is arrested and confesses. How is this supposed to work? I mean, I can't follow the logic here. Agreeing with him, helping him, and supporting him is going to make him confess. If that was true, he would have done this months ago when he had the entire internet on his team.
Right.
I agree. I totally agree.
I mean, it's just it's crazy to think.
And it doesn't make sense because by publicly shaming the Proudfoot, you're somehow helping get a confession. Makes no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, these are maneuvers we use to get people to talk. We put the pressure on. That's not going to get anybody to talk. That's going to get you with protection orders and going to post and bail because you violated the protection orders.
Yep. I mean, I'm asking y'all for real because I can't run it through in my mind and figure this out. This idea that supporting a criminal, and I'm not saying he is, but if you support a criminal and that you're kind to them 7 months in on the street without being around, that they're just gonna, turn a tape recorder on and tell you everything. I can't comprehend it.
No, because if anything, they would be doing it privately behind the scenes. They wouldn't need to add to the public speculation.
Exactly.
If they were working a professional angle, it wouldn't be done through the internet. They wouldn't have to throw hate at the Proudfoots. They just want it. That's stupid.
And
Well, this is
everybody's
my
saying,
opinion. Go ahead, honey.
Everybody's saying this like, oh, dog always does this or whatever. Dog normally runs 50-year-old meth heads down for pot charges. Okay.
Yeah.
Like
low level bail.
I mean, this is not the same thing. He's trying to get somebody in their mind. I'm talking about the people that are describing this, to confess to some horrendous shit. It's not like confessing to a crime that gets you 6 months of probation and a fine. I mean, it's just, it's nuts. Now, I'm sorry, Pearl, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, honey, the thing that I go back to, and I come down hard because because Sebastian was with his mama when she passed away or when he left. But, my thoughts is that maybe they was arguing. He just said to heck with this and just walked on out. But then again, you look, there was CP. He said, well, I hope if somebody has him that he don't get free. Then you hear Seth, oh, well, he's off here somewhere playing games and everything and searching, and I hope we don't find him and stuff like that. That is just totally twisted up, in my opinion. I would want, if he's with somebody, I'd hope it would come to light. He'd just wander out one day and somebody would find him.
I don't know.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I just don't think there's any way what these guys are doing is going to be the solution. It's all production. It's all for money and views. There's just no other doubt about it. I mean, if it wasn't, again, this would all be taking place quietly.
Exactly. They should have come in with nothing. Nobody know nothing. Not hit no parking lots 2 or 3 times a night. Just come in and search, and nobody has to know. Why would you have to allow somebody to know this or let people out there know this when they say, oh, well, there's so much trouble, everybody's been threatening stuff. Just come in, do your job, and find him or not, and then walk away.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and if Nick wasn't involved, it would have went down a more professional route. It would have been, Dog the Bounty Hunter on national news, their whole whopping 5-minute segment would have been a Daily Time, sure, whatever. And then they would have done what they're doing professionally, quietly, with minimum updates when there's updates to be given, which is initially what Nick said he was going to do. I'm going to give an update when there is an update. We're not going to do drama. Instead, he's been live 4 or 5 times already with an ad every 7 minutes collecting memberships. It's bullshit to believe his intent is real.
And he promises to be live every night, he says, until this is handled.
But I thought he was only going to go live if there was updates.
Yeah, well, no.
No, he's going to go live every day, and he's in this case. If it takes 70 years, he will do lives about it every day.
He'll do lives.
How many lives has he done since he came on to it, since he announced his presence? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. He'll be all down about this case right until the next big pop case comes along, and he thinks that the grass is greener on that side.
He had nothing to do with Cavalcante being captured. Not a damn thing.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with it.
Yeah. And I called him out on that. He said it was because of us. No, it wasn't. It was because law enforcement, all the multiple agencies, including the military, never stopped, never gave up.
Yeah.
Well, that's just like that dog hunter, that woman that come in here. You know, she was silent, but online and stuff, doing all that stuff, which I don't even know if that's true or not. I mean, I'm not rumor, speculations, and allegedly, but you know, they come in, they got to broadcast that they're coming in. That this should not. I mean, if there's people out there that's investigating this, and there's people that's in it for the right reasons, they wouldn't even come on a panel. They wouldn't even say they's coming.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. But you look at the logics of it. Why would they tell if they didn't want the clicks and the views?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I used to watch Dog and Beth all the time. Dog doesn't do search and rescue. He does low-level bail bonds, and they were absconders that he bonded out.
Exactly.
And most of the time, they didn't even catch him.
Exactly. And it was Beth that had that business anyways. I mean, my understanding is that she was the one with the business sense and the capital and everything, which would make sense, the difficulties he's experienced in the intervening years since her passing.
Well, I had to be in her name because of his findings, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, and Betty, by the way, I don't think he can bail you out in Tennessee if that's what you're counting on. I don't think he can do that. That's, you know, but okay.
Well, she just keeps coming up and running and running and running. I thought they took those names out of her mouth.
Betty's above the law. It doesn't, you know, her rights supersede everybody's.
Oh yeah, she's the only person alive, and what she wants matters way more than what anybody else does,
or what the law states.
Oh, she could care less about that. It's unbelievable how some people are with trampling others' rights.
Bernie, have you gotten any updates? Because she keeps saying that everything was moved to the 10th to just one long hearing. But I remember at the last hearing where it was granted, they wouldn't discuss Chris's because it's a separate, and the judge made it clear that would be handled on the 10th. But as far as the last time I checked, the docket has not changed. It still states the 9th and the 10th.
I don't believe a thing Betty says.
Does she not have to be there?
She has to be there. She's not in jail. No, Snizmic, she's not in jail. But no, they can't. You can't just make it one long. It's two separate hearings. You can't do that.
Yeah, and that's what when she said that, when she's been telling everybody this all week, and I'm like, no, the court docket hasn't been changed, and that would be changed. You would think that dates and times would be updated on the court docket, since that's where you're going. And the last time I checked, it's still showing the 9th and the 10th. And she has to be present at the night on the 9th.
Now, what's this supposed to determine when she goes?
Well, the 10th is about Chris's. The 9th is about evidence. And
Damon brings up a good point. She says if one is civil and one's criminal, they can't combine them.
To you, Sebastian, I never said I'm doing this for money. I said any YouTuber that tells you it's not for views is a liar, because obviously we want to come live and speak if we didn't want people to listen. That's what I said. Secondly, the difference is they're selling a pipe dream full of fantasies based off of watching too many reality TV shows, and we're not. These people are telling you that they belong to a team of elite, that they have resources nobody else has. On one hand, they're saying Sebastian's laying dead in a ditch. On the next, they're saying he's alive and well. The guy is a clown, and he's fooling people for money. For money. That's the difference.
Yo.
He's going to take him to Dairy Queen and Six Flags.
I mean, the guy's just a jokester.
Mm-hmm.
Just an absolute jokester. That's the difference. You can't come out here and say you're going to drug people, you're going to get confessions, you're going to do all these things that are not legal. They're also now stating that the reward fund is up to $100K when that is not recognized by the FBI by any means. The difference is they're telling you all they're going to solve this case while we're just discussing possibilities. That's the difference.
Yep. Huge difference.
What are you
I'm
doing?
going to bring him home, and I'm going to take him to Dairy Queen and Six Flags first. I'm not going to re-kidnap him. I'm just going to have fun with him.
It's a fucking joke.
There's so much hate in between there, and this is the thing. I'm really, I can understand it, but there's a line between a stepdad and a stepmom, because I know I've been a stepmom.
I say keeping Sebastian's name out there. And for somebody that's named Team Sebastian, you should just be thankful.
Not
you're probably Tony.
Not just that, Jess. This has been the only channel that from the jump, when everybody else was trying to organize a damn lynch mob, was out there pumping the brakes, saying the truth. Now everybody wants to come over and start thinking the way we've been going on for months. But instead of being balanced and saying, hey, there's no evidence, we can't see guilt, the way that this show's done, they're all carrying it the same way that the Proudfoot haters carried that. I mean, if anything, this has been the place most about Sebastian. And I think it's ridiculous to criticize you or any of this. I mean, it's literally been the only place.
Okay, Granny, I did just check.
I know. It was just, this account was just made today. I think that's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous. You come under a name called Team Sebastian that was just made today. And think you have some nerve asking about anything. What is your... Yeah.
The 9th is still scheduled on the court docket. She has to be there. It's for motions. The 10th is for Chris's protection order.
Right.
So the docket has not been updated yet. It has not been changed. So I don't know where she's getting her info. If she don't show up on the 9th, when she shows up on the 10th, I will not be surprised if they do not violate her on her bond for not showing up in the first place on the 9th, and she has to rebond out. I don't know. I don't know how she's going to get away with that.
It's what Betty does. Betty's doing what Betty does. She lies and makes excuses for why she won't,
I have been a stepmom, and when they was critical things, or when there was things that needed to be said, I stepped aside and let the parents handle it. Now, I don't know why Chris won't let Seth and Katie talk amongst themselves about their son. I mean, I was always one that, hey, if it was something that was really important, something that needed to be decided between the parents, I walked away from it. I let them decide what they was going to do.
Well, Katie doesn't want to talk to Seth, so she has Chris talk to him, and that's the way they've always operated. That only changed after he started that GoFundMe 3 days in.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure there's good reason.
Right. And then he came out here and he did nothing but disparage Katie publicly, used this opportunity that was meant to put attention onto his son, turn around and use it as an opportunity to disparage Katie. That's what he's done this entire time.
And 6 ups right.
You can leave the state on parole with permission from a parole officer. Yes. Right. Yes. With written permission, you can leave the state.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can.
In my opinion, Katie's been the smartest one of them.
But 6 ups right. Protection orders, ROs are considered civil. Right. What makes it criminal is when you violate them. The 9th is motions on that. The motions probably for the criminal side of it. The 10th is the civil side with Chris to get his granted.
Right.
I don't know. I just think it's just getting even. Maybe this will be a good thing. Maybe Dog will get Seth to have Tony and Betty take a seat.
I doubt it.
Betty's getting ignored and not getting in, feeling like she's on the inside. The rap will turn.
Alibis and lying. Yeah. I don't. Sorry, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I just feel so sorry for this child. It has been just whacked up so bad. I mean, this has just been, there's no call for none of this. It's been so botched. And that child, if he is alive, I don't think he'll be able to go back to either of the parents.
Well, he'll be old enough to decide. What's funny though is Dog the Bounty Hunter made a comment on Sebastian's case months ago. If Dog was in it for the right reasons, why did it take the FBI putting out reward for him to fully jump on board and make his presence? Why now?
100, Granny. You were so spot on. Exactly. It's
Well,
about
it was after
money
the
and the
reward.
attention.
Right, after the reward.
Mm-hmm.
Why, if he was coming in to help get this back in national news and all that, why they get a 5-minute segment? Why didn't they do this before the FBI put the reward, which really got Sebastian's name back in the headlines? Headlines.
And why TMZ of all things, you know, because it's the only one that will cover it.
Well, I live in Tennessee, and everywhere I go, I look for him. And if I seen him, I'd walk up to him. I sure would.
You know, what if this boy is watching all this stuff? Just what if? If you want to come home?
Yeah.
And if first off, come under your real account if you want to speak to me. I think if nothing else, Dog will bring more media attention and get special picture out there. I agree, but if you look at all the articles, you have Dog's photo before Sebastian's. It's not my only content. I've done a lot of different content.
Yeah, look, this is not my channel. But
why don't you come in?
Get out. You can exit left. Randy doesn't exploit this space.
Why don't you come in under your real name? How about you do that? I mean, I spoke about it a lot for sure. Most of it's not monetized. Anytime Sebastian's name is the forefront, it's not monetized. Could be. It's a fake account. It was just made today. It's probably Nick.
You don't exploit the space.
It's not by chance that we've seen a whole bunch of new accounts since yesterday. I've been seeing them all over in these things.
Probably parts to do with the 1,000 new subs Nick's got since he jumped on Sebastian's, you know, for all the right reasons, of course.
He gained 1,000 subs.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
I don't believe that YouTube hysteria. I don't believe this has anything. I think this meant to look a certain way, but remember, whatever experimental things they do, Seth is first to endure it. I don't think there's any place that will administer those drugs. I think it's a fantasy that is even a possibility.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. They're selling dreams of being able to do X, Y, and Z that they can't. You can't legally do it.
Even if they could, it would ruin the damn testimony. I mean,
I've worked for big hospitals. I've worked for research hospitals. They are not going to take part in any of this crap. No, none of them. None of them.
No, there's no way.
And it says, well, it's research. Do you know the level they have to go through, the paperwork, and just everything involved in even doing experimental stuff? There's just no way.
No, there's not. That's not going to happen.
Get a ministry.
What they're going to do is they're going to say, yes, Seth agreed to do this. Of course, they're not going to find a place that's going to actually cooperate with that. But then they're going to say, and the Proudfoot won it. The Proudfoots want to do it, so they're guilty because Seth agreed and the Proudfoots won it. This is just another way to slander the Proudfoots. That's it.
That's all it is. I agree.
And that's why they're saying as much like, oh, if they don't participate with us, just watch out. You know, it's nothing more than intimidation and threat coming from Seth's team, and it's ridiculous.
That was weird last night whenever dude was talking about, give us your phone, let us make a copy of it and go through everything to prove.
Yeah, like who the fuck are you?
Yeah, like who are you to come in 6.5 months on and demand these? I mean, what the fuck are you even going to do with it? And furthermore, who would trust you? I mean, you see how you talk, how you act. If this stuff about the Summer Wells case is true, I mean, I can't imagine anybody letting you take hold of any electronic shit.
Right. He fabricated documents to frame the government, for fuck's sake. You think anybody's going to hand over their phone to little Nick the cat? He's nobody. He's not FBI. You got to remember, when they're coming in selling you these pipe dreams of solving this case and they can do things and blah, 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 they have no access to do any of this. He doesn't even have access to an office where he can sit down and present himself as a professional.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. What's the end game? Do they want Chris and Katie hurt? Is that what they want? Because at this
And
point, that's going to happen. Yeah, Loki Thomas
that's
insane.
that's the thing. Yep. It's just pumping up more of the insanity. That's all I see coming from it. And even if people did believe, okay, somehow agreeing with Seth, helping Seth get more media attention and attacking the Proudfoot, somehow that's gonna, make Seth do whatever. What about the crazies out there that actually believe that shit? And now all of a sudden, it looks like you've got this social media personality that these folks love for some reason, and this brash mouthpiece going at them. I mean, you working these folks up into a frenzy.
Yeah, well, that's what they're doing. They're inciting the hate against the Proudfoots again. That's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah,
Everybody that's in their comment section is screaming, yeah, get the Proudfoots, get Katie and Chris. They did something. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it seems like to me that somehow those papers came out at the end of June. I imagine Seth probably saw him at some point in July, or was told by someone about the statement and they're being cleared. So he just let it eat at him. He started going nuts about this whole being cleared thing. And then now it almost looks to me like they're trying to build this narrative where local law enforcement can't be trusted. They got to bring in something bigger, and they're going to use Betty's arrest and saying they're violating rights and the lack of movement on this case and this thing in the documents about clearing them all together to try to minimize the efforts of local law enforcement. And I just see a whole other cycle coming where they're trying to snatch the spotlight back.
I agree.
I really do.
Well, YouTube hysteria, you said it right here. Sensational. That's exactly what he's here to do. He's here for clicks. They're gonna make everything sound, big and daunting and watch out, here we come. What did he say? The cavalry's here?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
It's a circus. It's entertainment. They're not even credentialed. It's nothing more than a production. That is what Dog the Bounty Hunter is. He is production. He's a reality TV show. He's nothing more.
Come on, y'all don't think that show wasn't staged 99% of the time?
Right.
I think we'll be amazed when this is all said and done, just how this did play out. I think we'll all be amazed.
Well, I'm putting my eggs in SF Investigates.
Yeah.
You and me both.
Yes.
You're right, Brooklyn. The first level of deception is playing the C that Sebastian's still alive, which before that, he was saying otherwise. And then he probably, realized, oh, wait, doesn't sound good to say that, because we're going to need everybody's support to do what we need to do. We're going to be boots on the ground. Forget the part about the elite, paying their expenses. Come on. Mm-hmm. I do too, sweet. I said I give credentials to Dog. I think Dog actually does have what it takes to get this back in the spotlight and to pull off some actual searches. I think Nick is just riding coattails.
But the funny thing about it is he spawned everything that was for him. Chloe, she was out there searching. She know the laws. She know the regulations. She know. And guess what? She had to go.
She wasn't doing it for no reward. She wasn't getting anything.
No.
She wasn't even being paid for her services.
Mm-hmm.
And yet she was sent a cease and desist to shut up.
And let's see if Dog does it without cameras.
Please.
Appreciate you having me up, Jess. I'm going to drop down.
Thank you, SS. I appreciate your insight as always. Thank you for being, realistic here and not falling into fantasies.
Yeah, you have a good day.
Yeah, y'all too. Take care.
Bye, SS. See you later.
See you, Kathy.
I like him. He's straightforward.
Absolutely. I know some people are saying Dog's a useless clown, but the only thing he is useful for is getting the tabloids speaking. Hey, what the crock? That's the only thing he's useful for is the tabloids.
When there's money out there involved, I think he'll come up with more than what we know. That money talks.
That's when they got involved, isn't it? When the money got out there.
Yep. There wasn't no reward, and there wasn't nobody that big and interested in it. And now the money's there, and they're all wanting to step in for it.
Mm-hmm. And they need to read those words carefully. It says up to 50K. It is the FBI that will determine if and when any amount gets paid out. And I doubt they're going to give the 50K. it says
Well,
they could give a 500.
Well, and you also got, Nick and Dog now claiming, and a lot of others now claiming the rewards up to 100K. But yet Nick and the FBI's rewards are not together. It's not 100K. So it's 50K from the FBI. Then you got these weirdos coming in saying it's 50K from them. So instead of giving all your tips and all to FBI, you have a better chance of getting their reward money. So give it to them. That's the way they're selling it.
Exactly.
Another tip line, give me all your tips. No, people, if you've got legitimate tips, and I mean legitimate tips, don't call nobody but law enforcement.
Right. No, if Nick had 25K, again, the man would be wearing a suit. He'd be sitting down inside an office and he'd be speaking on a professional level. There's no professionalism with this guy. He's actually aggravating it that people believe otherwise. Like, why are they going to pick up this little wannabe YouTuber, this fake journalist, to work an undercover op? It makes no sense to me. None.
Well, him and BHB goes hand in hand. He's fake. He's fake everything, and she is too.
Right. That's the only, that's what I'm saying. This is just another BHB coming on the scene. I can't believe people are like pretending there's any credentials there. It's just, it's infuriating.
And how she's got backers, I don't know. She keeps on getting in trouble. Would you keep on paying for that?
No, but they believe because it's anti-Proudfoot, they believe that she's warranted in what she's doing. It's unbelievable. There's always people that so long as they dislike somebody else, they will support whatever against them with no qualms about it.
How about just Sebastian? I'd rather run off of that is to run off of the clicks and giggles and all this of what she's doing.
You would think they would have more concern, but that's what I said the other day. These people can't claim to be so much team Sebastian and love for Sebastian, but be so blatantly disrespectful towards his mother. If you believe she's guilty, that's one thing. Fine, feel that way. But to go ahead and think it's okay to harass, threaten, intimidate, stalk. I mean, come on. What if that was being done to Seth Rogers?
Well,
would they be okay with it then?
Most ex-parents is that's their child's mother or father. Don't pick them until you find out where the child's at. Don't, make it Sebastian. Don't make it one side or the other anymore. It's not one side or the other. Here we are. We've got another BHB in the scenes.
It's true.
Like Sebastian needs that. Poor thing.
This is a good point. I'm on the side. Nick is saying it turns tips to him. So then he turns into the FBI. Then he gets the reward. Then gives whoever a portion on the FBI reward. I see what you're saying.
Dog's not the one that put up the money. So why would people thank him? He's not the one that put up, or allegedly put up this other. 25K was from Nick and 25K was from supposedly that
fake
right
attorney.
Yeah.
Wasn't even Dog. None of it was even Dog. But that, even that can't be, even that's not even very crystal clear. Where's this other 25K, 50K coming from?
Mm-hmm.
Where's it at?
Yeah.
But
we go back again. None of this would ever stepped up if it hadn't have been the reward for FBI.
Right. The whole thing. That's what I'm saying, Heather. Where did Dog ever say he was providing 25K? He didn't. Nick at Night Media was offering 50K. Right. And a website, again, that's not even legitimate. These people that are claiming on their website, they're renowned, but yet Nick just said, nobody's heard of us until right, because you're not renowned, you're nobodies, you're frauds. It's not even, and it doesn't exist. Oh my gosh, it's aggravating. I can't believe people are giving them credentials. I can't. But it's because they're selling a pipe dream of they're going to find Sebastian, and at this point, we all want Sebastian found. Doesn't matter if you support Seth, if you don't, if you support Katie, if you don't. We want Sebastian found, and they are coming in and saying we're the ones to do it. And people that are so vulnerable that just want the betterment of Sebastian are going to believe it. Yep. And they're going to support it. It's sad. Right. Who's paying the fight? Right. But none of it makes sense. Yeah, Chatty. This is dangerous talk that's happening. I mean, they're basically threatening the Proudfoots because, again, they're Team Seth. And then people are saying, well, they're pretending to be Team Seth. to get information from Seth. Come on. Why does it have to be so convoluted? If it's for the Sebastian is to find Sebastian, why would there be so many angles and games and secrecies and all these things? It wouldn't be. It'd be straightforward to the point.
That's exactly right. I agree.
Sad.
And then they come up and say, oh, well, he wasn't online. He wasn't online. Well, ended up, he had been online.
Right. There's been so many inconsistencies.
So tell the truth about it. If he was, he was. And then Seth, he wants, oh, I want his Switch back. I want his game player back. I want this. I want that. What's the big deal about getting it back?
Right.
I guess he's got one of his own. I think they see something in that game.
There's a great possibility. Yeah. I hope to God poor Sebastian is hidden somewhere alive and completely unaware of the shit show going on around him. But one day he will see and hear all of this. How horrible he will feel. That is sad.
Well, now back in the day here, we didn't have that many children go missing. But everybody, I went to the restaurant the other day. There's this little 3-year-old. He walks in. His mama grabs the tablet out and hands it to him and gets him online. And then they both sit there online. 3 years old. We're wondering where our kids are going. They ain't no wonder to me.
It's sad that, the internet has definitely changed everything.
For every scumbag that's out there, they're looking for kids. There's 2 in this town right now. One of them was a highway patrol and a ball coach. The other one was a school teacher and a ball coach. And both of them has got for child porn.
That's horrific.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying, Demon. That's what their support base is the anti-Proudfoots. That's why they're doing and saying it the way they're doing, which honestly, should bring concern of why certain people are supporting that. It makes me wonder, have we been, if we're going to go down a conspiracy hole with all of this, has this all been an act? Was there really not fallouts between certain creators and Seth Rogers? Has this all been a build up to this like circus moment here? I don't know. Something's weird with it. And
it is.
It's easier to believe that Nick is just a LARPer, but at the end of the day, like, what's with I don't know, something's just so weird with this whole case. It's so sad.
It is. It's really pathetic.
And for people to support financially, Bullhorn Betty going at this family, the parents of a missing child, and financially support her legal stuff because of her own actions, blows my mind.
I so agree. I so agree.
They're not even just supporting Betty doing it. They're now supporting these guys coming in and doing it too. They're basically supporting anybody who supports their narrative that the Proudfoots are bad.
Yep.
And then they all do it under the guise of caring about Sebastian. And that's just not true. Because if you did, you wouldn't support the harassment and intimidation of his mother.
Basically, all she's doing is just sitting there downing these people and getting paid for it. She's not helping Sebastian in any way. These people are paying out money. And I'm sure it's some of the most elderly that has got, is, based on income. Yeah, some of them probably got more money than the others. But you know what? She's sitting there just taking it to the bank.
Well, they're willingly giving it too. So,
yeah.
And now that Betty's limited on what she can do, they bring in this other guy to do the dirty work.
And he's going to do the same thing.
I remember months ago, Tony saying he's looking for a handful of YouTubers that are willing to be pro-Seth and basically push Seth's agenda.
Mm-hmm.
And Betty, they landed across Betty and got her in legal trouble. And now they need a new replacement. And here he comes, loud and proud and selling a pipe dream.
Exactly.
We got people that sit up on panels and say, I don't care if they show me proof that he did something or was involved in some way. I love him and I'll believe him and I'll still support him. And they start crying. I love him so much.
They don't even know
him.
Like
a man you've never even spoke to.
Don't even know him.
Well, I had to have a little talk with myself because when I first come on this case, and it was the day that he went missing because that little Strand boy was missing too. And I came on to this. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
But I come on to this, and I just I have to confess, I was really, really because he had left from his mom's home, and that Seth had said, "Oh well, you know, it's CP had said it was me or the child, and I hope you picked the child." I come on there rooting for Seth, but now I'm just I had to have a little talk with myself. No, I'm for Sebastian. I don't care what them parents done, and I feel like he probably, if he comes back, he won't be able to live with neither one of them. But I have to confess, I'm strictly Sebastian. The parents is old enough to take care of themselves.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for that little boy. I just all this going on. I just want him found. That to me, that's who matters. Not this drama, not them. That's who should be in the forefront, but he's not.
Well, YouTube hysteria is saying it's the notion behind illicit drugs, and the idea would be forced upon people is to think people can't get past, yet that's not what's been stated. Yes, it is. That's exactly what they stated. Like, that's literally what their news article wrote, is that they're going to hypnotize, and they have true serums for the unwilling. That is, quote, what is stated. I mean, of course, it listed the actual drugs, which forget about it, but it did state that. So there's a reason it's been purported that way. There's a reason people can't get past it. And even if it was on the willing, it is not legal. It is such, they came out with such an asinine statement. Maybe it's part of their game. All of it's a fucking game. I don't know. I feel like it's all like a joke at this point, which is so sad. And who's allowing it to become this way? I guess we've all had a hand in it, but I mean, his own father supporting this nonsense just baffles me. Nobody even had the respect to speak up and say his name's not Sean. Seth.
He needs to get up and grab some balls and do what he needs to do as a man and quit whining around.
I mean,
I'm so sick of that, I can't hardly stand it.
I know. We're supposed to take it serious. We're supposed to take it serious when he can't even correct his name to the guy that we're all supposed to put our trust into at this moment. He can't even get the father's name correct.
You know, there's excuses being made for that, right? You know that, oh, well, he was doing a live interview. It happens. You're thinking it in your mind, but you say another thing. Yeah, maybe once or twice, but not for the whole 15-minute interview.
Yeah, that's just, there's no excuse for it. Sorry, none.
And it wasn't a custody battle. And he's not being hidden by the other parent because of a custody battle. That's the crap that they're feeding him. And instead of Dog doing his due diligence and finding out what's really going on, he's running with it. Now he's already biased.
Right, because he was hired by Seth's team. He only speaks and pushes Seth's agenda.
Exactly.
You think they gave him any money?
I don't know. They claim that it's, $500,000 to even hire them. So either we believe Nick or we don't,
He's already getting $500,000.
I just think it's all great. And if you had that type of money, why didn't you put it towards a reward? Why didn't you do it towards something, you're doing has-been reality? Absolutely, Ministry of Defense. And then I'm going to
go back to his GoFundMe, which if he was out looking for his son, yes, he would have had some kind of support to pay his bills while he was searching.
But not almost 7 months. Come on. Unfortunately, life goes on. Bills don't wait. You have to go back to work.
Why would he think after day 3 that he was going to need the money anyway? Why isn't he back at work now? The whole thing just reeks of hidden motives. It just doesn't even make sense.
Allegedly, he was already off of work.
Right, I've heard that. What if Chef's real name was Sean before he was adopted and Dog was just letting him know he's on to him? I don't believe that.
Well,
hey, Ministry of Defense.
Hey. Hey, Kathy. Chris is here with me. Chris is my husband, and he was military police. And I have the education. I went to college for criminal justice, but he has the hands-on experience. And there's a reason why you can't use truth serum. And he can tell you exactly what would happen if, when he was in the military, he tried to use it. They cannot do this. I don't know why everybody is buying into this narrative that they can, because it's not going to happen. And if they do, they will be locked up.
Right.
So if they're showing that we're giving somebody truth serum, they agreed to it, they signed releases, that's bullshit. They're all playing a freaking game.
Right. Like it's a video game fantasy. It's weird.
And she's right. My brother was military police for 25 years before he retired. When I called him and asked him, he laughed at me. He said, "Are you freaking serious?" And he just busted out laughing.
It's insane. Hey, Titanium. I can't believe people believe it and justify it or excuse it or try to, change the wording of it, or, even Nick going on for what, 4 streams now?
I'll get in trouble.
Well, I'm going to get off here, and y'all have a great one. Everyone.
I know it was you that I ran.
Nice talking with you.
Thank you, Pearl Girl.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, Pearl.
Ministry of Defense, just so you know, we can hear your husband. I don't know if
imagine that. They can hear you.
I didn't know if he wants to be heard. We overspoke him, but just in case.
He don't care. We are going on Tuesday. He has said we are going on Tuesday.
What,
if she's not already in jail by then.
Yes, good.
Okay, so I don't understand. This is a missing child. Every second that goes by, the odds are not good. Why are you delaying? Why are you not immediately there on the ground doing something?
Right, because they already know it's been 6.5 months and they have nothing to offer. That's why. That's why. So you're in
Eddie's court here, and you're all going to go there.
Have you ever met Seth in person, Ministry?
No.
No.
No, and I am scared what Chris will say to him when he does, or if he does.
Yeah.
Quit, Pebble. So, honey, get her. I'm sorry, y'all. The chihuahuas are going crazy.
That's okay. They scare Betty.
Oh my gosh, Chris.
See?
Come here, Pebbles. Come here. Come on.
So you do plan on going?
Yes, Chris said yesterday that he really wants to go. If nothing else, to let Chris and Katie know that they have more support.
That's nice. Have you ever had a chance to speak to Chris and Katie?
No.
No. Okay.
No, but Jess, I don't know if you remember when my son ran away that time, and I was horrified, and they found him like 3 hours later. So I can imagine what she's going through. And, every mom needs support. They need to know not everybody is against them. And, just to show that support for them.
That's really nice of you.
Plus, if I get to see Blowhard put in cuffs, that would be great.
And it sounds like they're
out and ready.
Sounds like they're planning on making this whole production out of it with all these people back in Betty, and so it's nice to hear that the Proudfoots. God, everybody's saying Proudfeast as if because it's plural, it changes the word, drives me nuts. And here I, saying it, but just it's nice to hear the Proudfoots will have somebody back in them.
Yeah,
I couldn't imagine waking up every day like that, not knowing. Oh my God, that's got to be hell. That's got to be.
Yeah. And Jess, I'm sure Jess can tell you when my son ran away, I was horrified and just miserable the whole time. So, they need support, and there needs to be a voice of reason there to let everybody know this is what's happening, and the truth, not her version of the truth, not Seth's version of the truth, but the real truth.
Well, my understanding is, while Betty's out here screaming all these things like, oh, there's no proof of this, there's no proof of that, the Proudfoots do have proof of things. And of course, Betty's not going to come out and tell everybody that.
Well,
She's
yeah,
she's
and
not going to admit
we
that.
have seen her do stuff that has caused all of this, so she can't deny it.
Right. But even off camera, when her camera wasn't running, other people's footage were. And
Oh
Betty
yeah.
is caught in the act. And I'll be surprised. I'll be surprised if she's another one, just like Nick. She's anti-government. She's going to sue the government. They, they're not allowing me my constitutional rights. And this whole baloney, BS is what it is.
Yeah, it is. Straight talker, according to what Betty's been putting out, Dog and Seth's family are going to be at court for her on Tuesday
Yeah,
to
we'll see
support
about
her
that.
and show that she has support and possibly testify for her. How Dog can, I have no idea.
I
Seth
highly
has
doubt
not.
Highly doubt it.
Yeah.
Jess, I dropped our email for
Okay.
both of you ladies in the back chat.
I got it here.
That way, y'all can kind of watch if I send y'all anything.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
And Chris will be in chat too if anybody has questions about anything, for the police side of it.
Yeah.
He is awesome. He's smart and he don't mind talking. So
Awesome. Thank you so much.
But I'm gonna let you ladies have it. Kathy, I adore you. Jess, I can't even say we've been through hell.
We have.
And I love you to death. And I hope the kids are okay.
They are. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm
All
going to
right,
wrap
ladies.
it up anyway. We're actually going to go see Beetlejuice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, ladies.
Bye. Have a great day.
You too.
Right. There is proof in the pudding, video after video. BHP harassing, threatening, accusing, stalking the family. Right. I don't think Dog will appear in court for her either. Again, what is their angle with all of this? It's kind of bizarre.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was muted and didn't know it because I'm on my laptop, but thank you, Ministry. Brady, I'm jealous you're going to Beetlejuice, but you have such a great relationship with your kids. You are awesome. You are always doing the family thing. That is awesome. Man. You do.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
But I'm going to jump down so you can say bye to everybody. Thank you for having me up.
Of course. Thank you for coming up.
Sure. Have a good day.
You as well. Bye, Kath.
Bye-bye.
The studies on people from the 50s, 60s did happen. The disaster occurred. It was wild. They even did it up here in Canada, but that is not that. Thank you, Smokin'. Yeah, listen, they're no reputable hospital or agency is going to agree to drug people out with true serum. I don't care who's telling you what, where, when. I don't care. It's not realistic. It's not realistic. And I don't think even Dog testifying on behalf of Betty would even do anything. It's like, oh my gosh, so many people's putting so much weight in Dog. 70-year-old, newly written author, advertising his book before Sebastian's photo. But yes, they are in it for the right reasons, people. Selling you a pipe dream. Oh, it's crazy. Thank you so much, Air Force. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate you. I got to get ready. So I hope you all have a great Saturday. Enjoy your weekend. For those of you who went back to school this week, we survived. Can't stand the first week of school. Nobody's going to risk their license. Oh, don't be scared to talk. We're glad you talked. We accept different opinions around here so long as they're respectful. So yeah, appreciate all of you. If you haven't, please consider hitting the thumbs up, and I will see you all next time. Watch out for these dream sellers out here.